weather's getting a little colder. We're shifting from summer to fall. Puck's about to drop. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited here. Hello and welcome to The House That Happens NHL season preview show recorded live at Schuey's Bar and Grill in Etobicoke, the only place to be in suburban Etobicoke. Voted 4 times the best dive bar in all the GTA. Hi, my name is Andrew Milani and I'm joined by...
Hi, my name is Cruz and God bless the Detroit Tigers.
God bless the Detroit Tigers, apparently. And we are joined by a special guest, back again by popular demand, my
100%.
brother...
Stephen Milani. Yay.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, full disclosure, everyone, before we get the show started, okay? First of all, I got 2 Milanis against 1 Cruz. Now, we're not saying that it's any kind of battle or...
it's the same spiel as always.
Oh, stop it. Anyways, I'm just saying that I'm going to look at this preview from this perspective. These gentlemen are... I don't want to use the N-word, but these guys are well-versed in their hockey. There's 2 N-words. You know the other one, like if you know numbers. What did Kelsey say?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll use the word. It's nerds.
Nerd, yeah.
You caught on. Okay,
I thought we established.
No, we don't do that on show. We don't do that.
We established on the show one time that you're a nerd too.
Okay, yeah, in certain ways I am.
We're all nerds.
Yes, okay, we're in a nerd society. I'm allowed to say that at the House That Happens from now on.
We can say that N-word, yes.
Okay, we can say it. I just wanted to be sure because my producer always corrects me when I'm not politically correct or, socially, politically correct. But anyways,
which isn't often, but.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That means I'm getting better. Yeah, nothing good comes after but. Come on. Any event, I think I'm with 2 guys that really, really know their hockey. So I'm probably third in line as much as I know because I'm more of an eye test guy. But I will have to say that Mr. Milani made me dig deep, find out a few things I didn't realize, did a little bit of reading, and I'm going to make some of the most... No, I'm not. I'm just going to say some things that might not be happy with the whole prediction of hockey, but I'll take your lead, and we'll see what happened. Stephen, welcome to the show. Glad you can make it.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on, guys. Appreciate it.
So, like always, we'll do some shout-outs. You guys got any shout-outs, or...?
The only shout-out is that I wish that I talked to Ken Hughes because Lane Houston must be the fastest defenseman in the league because you know me and my theory about our big defenseman in Montreal?
Yep.
And he's a college guy? Okay, that's my shout-out. All righty?
He's not big, though.
That's my point. I just went, oh, no. Everything I said all year, he better be like Quinn Hughes quick. And I've seen him in the preseason, and he looked good at times, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll save
anyway,
that
shout
for,
out to Ken Hughes.
Yeah, we're going to do, obviously, we're going to go division by division. We're going to have some over-unders later. We're going to go through all of our award winners. Going to talk a little bit of Ford Nations face-off as well. But let's begin with some hot takes. Steven, you have any hot takes ready for us?
I think you should kick us off first and then...
just putting all the pressure right on the host, why don't you?
That's the way it should be.
Okay, fair enough. So my first hot take is that Anaheim will be one of, if not the most exciting teams to watch this year.
Okay, I went and looked at this Anaheim thing, and I said, what were you smoking? What are they going to do? They were
Indica, but that's not the reason.
Okay, in any event, they were what? 27 points out of a playoff spot or something ridiculous. Their plus minus was like, I don't know, outrageous. And here's a little point there when you're taking it. How many teams had minus goal differential and make the playoffs? So when you add up...
I believe it was just Washington.
And the Islanders, I believe. So 2. I think it was 2 teams. But that's another story. I think they're going to play wide open because you look at their defense core, and they're all young guys, and they're all going to be skating. Who's going to be in the net for them?
Well, it's going to be Dotzel, who looked very good last year at times. I mean, I think he's ready to take that step. They picked off, obviously, the John Gibson is going to be gone for a little bit. But they picked James Reimer off waivers, so I think it's going to be a nice little replacement there. I think him and Dotzel could be a nice little 1-2. On D, Minchikov, I think, is very exciting. Yeah. Cam Fowler, I mean, he's a steady offensive defenseman as they come. Radko Gudas, Brian Dumoulin, I think they're good enough back there, but it's really the offense. I think Leo Carlson's going to have a breakout season. They're really going to let the reins off him. He didn't get too much playing time last year. Now he's their number 1 center.
Number 1, yeah.
You got Ravi Fabry, Mason McTavish, Trevor Zegras as your number 2 line. Come on. Frank Vetrano, who was spectacular last year, is on the number 3 line with Ryan Strome and Troy Terry. You have 3 lines that can roll.
Okay, I'm not saying that, and I like their.
I didn't say they were going to be good, for the record. I
Oh,
just
you
said
said
they're going to be fun.
exciting. Okay,
they're going to score a ton. They're going to allow a ton of goals. They're going to
yeah.
be a great team to watch.
Okay, Steven, so your brother has defined what we're talking about, exciting and good. We have now differentiated between the two, correct?
Yes.
Correct. So they're not going to be good, but they're going to be exciting.
And they're
If
definitely
you
not
use
going to
that
be. They're definitely not going to be as bad as you think they are.
Oh, I think they're going to improve, but I don't think that they're going to.
They're not going to be a bottom 5 team.
You think they'll get a sniff at the playoffs? All
Maybe
depends
early
on coming
on.
to the go. Check their schedule. Like I said, we're buying lottery tickets today. Okay, in 10 games from now, we'll probably have a better assessment. Don't you agree?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You know,
Even like more than 10. Usually it's like 15, 20 games in.
that's what I
That's when you
say.
get a good read,
Because we're
yeah.
not going to do any power rankings until we get that far down the road. Just because
American
it doesn't make
Thanksgiving.
sense. Yeah, American Thanksgiving. That would be a good start.
Yeah.
No, I looked at their lineup and they're rather young, and they got a few for first and second round picks, and they got someone from somebody else. So if you tweak these guys, that's a
Cutter
whole.
Gauthier, that's right.
Yeah. They've
Playing top line with Carlson.
Yeah, like they've got guys. So I'm not saying no, but exciting. I'll stick to the exciting.
Steven, you got anything for us?
To
Am I the only one that came
be
with hot
honest,
takes?
yeah, I don't. I don't have any.
I predict. Here's my hot take: the Boston Bruins will struggle for a playoff spot. You heard it here first. The Boston Bruins will struggle for a playoff spot.
Even with Swayman in there.
Who have they got behind him? A beach ball. What's his name? Salasilo or somebody?
Korpisalo?
Korpisalo.
I think Korpisalo is a very good team when he's got good or he's a
No,
good
not-
player, excuse me, when he's got good defense in front of him, which he's shown in LA. He's shown in Columbus when they were good.
Okay, well, wait a second here. Let's talk.
now he's the number 2
They
goalie.
don't have the same defense as they have last year.
Yeah, they're better
You think?
Yeah.
Why?
because they picked up Zadorov, and he's on their 3rd pair.
I don't know.
Who did they lose? Nobody.
No, they lost somebody, didn't they?
Grizzlick, he sucks. He
Is
got
that what
beaten on his feet by Tavares in the playoffs, and Tavares is no speedster.
Okay, I'm going to look at it this way, okay? Marchand is past his best before a date. Pastrik's a center. Who else have they got up the middle? Charlie Coyle?
Well, they added Lindholm.
So what?
No, he's very good.
He's okay. I'm
He's
going to say if
very
you're going to
good.
go in Boston, I'm going to say they're going to take a step back. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's my take. And I'm not saying it because I hate those guys more than I hate anything on the face of the earth. But these teams got to take a step back. Look, at 2 years in a row, they were up there. They blew up both times. They were sagging at the end, and they got smacked in the playoffs. Now their team's a little bit older.
And they got better in the offseason, though.
I'm going to look at it this way. Part of their thing was their goaltending tandem. Are you going to say that's going to be holding up like Allmark and Swayman? And Swayman's going to have
I
to
think
start.
they kept the better goalie. I don't think it's going to be
I'm
an
not
issue.
going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say necessarily they didn't keep the better goalie, but is he going to make 60 starts and have the same numbers?
yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm doubting that. What do you say, Steven?
I think he can do that.
60 starts?
He's the kind of goalie that he's going to rise to the occasion. And
If not
he's-
55.
Yeah, he's going to put up like big numbers too while doing it.
Okay, well, remember that. We'll put that when we're talking about the division thing too, because I'm not sold on that.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. Mackerlin Celebrini will establish himself as a star right away, and Will Smith will not be that far behind in the points category.
Really?
Yeah. I think Celebrini, don't be surprised if he hits 80 points this year.
Wow.
Especially with a guy like Toffoli on his wing.
Oh, I like
And Will
that.
Smith, I think he's in a...
I like
could
Will
see him-
Smith
I
a
could-
lot.
Defense isn't his strong suit, but offensively, he's got all the skills. He's wearing number 2, though, which I think is so weird for a center, but that's beside the
That's
point.
old school. Like, that's 1920 shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind that.
We're moving from 1920s to 2020s, I guess, so fair
Yeah,
enough.
why not? But you know what? He's a great skater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I read about him too, and they say he has some defensive liabilities. Well, that's what you learn. They said Suzuki coming into the league too, and I think this guy's better than Suzuki, even though I'm a Hab guy.
Really?
Yeah, I think Smith will be better.
Suzuki's better on his defensive end.
He
though.
learned to be, yeah. He
Okay,
became
fair
a better,
enough.
what I'm saying. So this guy could evolve into that too. So look at you up and down the middle. And what's his name? The kid. He's such a great skater. You know what I mean? And
Well,
we got
there
even-
hasn't been nearly enough buzz about Celebrini as there probably should be. I don't know if people were, like, I heard the point that like people are like kind of Bedarded out from last year.
I heard that too.
Yeah, like the Bedard fatigue. Maybe that played a factor, but either way, this kid's not nearly. Maybe it's just because he plays in San Jose, but this guy's not getting nearly enough attention as he should be.
Steven, you agree with that? You're going to notice in the season, like certain things that'll happen on the West Coast we don't pick up enough on.
East Coast bias.
Yeah,
you hear about all the time.
You know what I mean?
It's a real
I-95,
thing.
all that kind of nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, there's some realistic, except for Chicago is different because they're an original six team and they're a huge American market. But he's out in the coast there with San Jose, is he?
Yeah, San Jose.
They're out at San Jose. And San Jose, that is for the first time in their history, they're having fans suffering and people are taking a look at the team, which like you'd never even say that 10 years ago. So I think it's a local market better start pumping his tires, or maybe they'll get him some national TV games. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, everyone plays games on TNT and ESPN. I think that's part of the deal that everyone probably plays like at least like 2 or 3. So he's going to get his time. Like now, who they pair him up with, right? I hope they give him some good games against teams like, I don't know, LA, Edmonton. You know, teams are going to draw eyeballs.
Well, I also look at it this way. If he gets off to a hot start, he's a hot player. You know, at ESPN, they'll automatically move to that, hoping to get the extra eyes. That's their modem since day one. Like if a guy gets super hot, you find that guy on TV the next day. Right. So that's kind of like your theory could be good. But I think they might be losing more, but they might be more exciting because they're going to play pond hockey.
I think their roster got a little bit better, though. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
One more. I got a couple more, actually.
Good.
Mike Sullivan in Pittsburgh, not only will he be the first coach fired midseason, he'll be the only coach fired midseason.
Wow.
Only coach. That's a very bold one. You don't think like any team that has expectations is just going to like not meet those and then fire their coach midseason?
Not the teams that I'm thinking of. Because you look at like, because I sorted the list of coaches by when they were hired, and like all the guys that have been there for a while, like either their teams are good or or like management has their back.
That's fair. Actually, that's fair. That's very true.
And let's not forget, Sullivan was not hired by Kyle Dubas.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So I'm glad you threw in that caveat because that makes a huge difference.
And speaking of Dubas, Matt Murray passed through waivers. I told you so.
Okay. In any event, I think there might be more than one, and I'm going to give you a surprise choice: the LA Kings.
That's an interesting one.
I'm just saying,
but they just hired their coach, though.
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
how many coaches have they had in the last 6 years? I think they're the most.
Only a couple.
I think they're the 3. This is their third coach. I think it's their third coach that they're on in that period of time. So I just gotta diddle in my passings by. I heard some teams that might take a left instead of a right.
Okay.
And that's why I say I'll go with 2. I wouldn't say 1. I agree with you that guy, if Pittsburgh doesn't get on, like if they're not in the playoff position at Thanksgiving
or Christmas time.
Yeah, Asham 0-0, bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other hot takes, or am I just going to carry this segment?
Yeah, keep it going.
I only got one more. Connor Bedard, 100 points.
Yep, I like that one.
I'll say the 90s. He won't get
90s, low 90s?
I'll say 91.
Okay, so he just hits there, you say.
I'll say he gets over 90 due to the fact that what's going to happen is as it gets later in the year and the teams get tougher, they'll probably check him a little harder. And he'll be breaking out. Let's see how he starts. You know what I mean?
Now it looks like Chicago has a legit NHL lineup, not a bunch of like junior players.
Oh,
out
no,
there, right?
they're there. But
they really buffed up. I mean, not the greatest names, obviously, but Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Taylor Hall. He has choices for line mates. Mikheyev, exactly.
Yeah.
Warm bodies that are like pretty good and have played in top 6 roles and have succeeded.
So, okay, we'll get that when we get to the division because there's a few things I want to say about Chicago. You know what I mean?
Just a few things?
No, I'm not going to. Like I said, I was extensive but unextensive. The right now, I think that we can't talk about that part of it till we get to that part of it.
Well, I mean,
no. I'm going to wait. I almost blurted something out that I shouldn't be blurting out before we get into our preview.
Well, okay? I was going to say might as well jump right into our preview then. So we'll start off with the Central Division. I think this is Dallas's division to lose once again. I'd be surprised if anyone leapfrogs them in the standings. Are we all in agreement on that? Dallas division
Dallas
winners?
At number 1.
Dallas is no doubt about it. As a matter of fact, should have said my hot take is I'm taking the Dallas Stars already to win the Stanley Cup. I'm going to start that right now, so you guys know.
I was just going to save that for the end. Way too early Cup prediction.
No, I just say if I'm lay it on the line now, I'll give you guys something to think about. You know what I mean? See, what do you think of Dallas?
I mean, I gotta say, you already said it. Like I have them here as well as Stanley Cup winners for this season.
Okay, well, I looked at it this way. They got the great balance up front. When you got like Seguin, Ben, Duchesne, and then they got all those young guys like Hintz, Jason Robertson, and Wyatt Johnson, who could be the freaking wild card.
Yeah.
And what about this Oscar Pack guy?
And Stankovic.
And Stankovic. So those guys are all young. And then I got Heiskanen, who I think is going to get votes for the Norris this year. You know, when that time comes, they got Lendl to go with them, and this Harley kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm saying I'm not okay. We won't get too far ahead of ourselves, but they got enough goaltending in Ottinger. You know what I mean?
He's got to show it a little bit though, because last time he was like last year.
Yes, I know. At the end.
No, all season his numbers weren't great. Let's be real.
Well, I think he's going to be better, and he had some nagging injury, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He had some, didn't he, Steven?
Yeah, he had something that he missed a bit of time with.
Yeah, so like that kind of affected his play, but he's 100% healthy coming in. So I think they're fine. I forget who their backup is. That could be a question.
Is that Matt Murray?
No. Hold on, I'm on daily face off.
They have another Matt Murray.
Yeah, but it could be, but I don't.
Matthew Murray.
Yeah, but no, I think, and that's a lot of teams in the league.
They have Casey DeSmith as their backup.
Oh yeah, okay. So, but then
he's serviceable.
But all the teams, like if you look about it, that's why I'm kicking at Boston is when you do look at a lot of teams, it's that goaltending tandem that's going to get you there because it's a long season, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that's
that's not the greatest goaltending tandem though. Like DeSmith is like
that's
if you're to rank if you're going to rank all the goalies, he'd maybe be like what 64, 65,
maybe 72. I don't know, but I'm just saying that means Ottinger's going to have to play 60 games. Like
plus
I said,
maybe
60 games and play like he did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and if he does that, then Dallas is going to the cup. They're going to win the cup. They got all the other components.
And they beefed up their blue line, too. They had Labushkin and Dumba.
Yeah.
And like, you look
Dumba's a great pickup.
The forward line, like Stankoven and Maverick Bork, those are like the two youngsters they got in the third line. Can they step up? I think that's probably their biggest question mark. But, I mean, their fourth line is Evgeny Dadonov, Sam Steele, and Colin Blackwell. Like,
hello.
Yeah, those are some pretty good players.
That's what I'm saying.
Dadonov would be like a third line player on a lot of other teams.
No kidding. That's what I'm saying. So I'm liking how they look. I thought they had a little fade at the end of the year and some bad luck in the playoffs. You know what I mean? A couple of those games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they still made it to the conference final.
That's right, but it was a little bit of a bounce here and a bounce there.
Sure.
They could have gone on. So I'm saying they're going to take the next step.
Sure. My number 2 team in this division might surprise you, but I got Nashville number 2.
That's exactly who I got as well.
Why?
I think they were a great team last year, and they just got better.
Yeah.
And like some other teams in that division have some big question marks, which we'll get to a little bit later.
Okay.
But I mean, what was their the big thing against them last year? Their one-line team. Well, guess what? They bought a second line.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And their back end's great. They have questionably the top 5 goalie in the league.
Yep.
So I get all that. To tell you the truth, I still have them top 3 in their division.
So you have them at number 3?
I have them at number 3 in the division, but I say Colorado is going to be there. They just won the Stanley Cup a couple of years ago. They had a couple of bangs and bites. Those young kids are getting better. Their top end is great. They got the goaltending, and they got the intensity. So I think that, when a team falls back, remember Chicago back in the day in L.A.? Mm-hmm. They'd win a cup, miss, then come back and give you another cup. I think there's enough components on Colorado that they could pull this off.
Oh, yeah.
Colorado, though, they got some... Like, their lineup's looking a little thin now because they don't know when Alekinen's going to come back. You don't know when Nichushkin's going to come back. You don't know when Landeskog's going to come back.
I didn't put him in the equation at all.
They're saying a few months, but still, but that's still something that's a cap consideration, right? It's not like they could have just filled that in because you're like, oh, this guy's going to come back. You're assuming within a couple months, so, you got to hold off on that. Plus, I mean, their goaltending still kind of scares me. I mean, Georgiev, he can play a bunch of games, but his numbers were awful last year. His goals against was 3. And then they got that kid Annunen, who's okay, he's got all the potential in the world, fine, but he's still very unproven.
Okay, 100% on that. But I'm going to just say when you got arguably the best defense duo in the NHL skating for you, and you know who I'm talking about,
and
right?
A solid number 2 pairing. I'm with you there.
And with a solid number 2 pairing, and all he has to do is play a little above average goaltending, which he's done before. You know what I mean? So, and with that front end going, and look at you know what I really like about Colorado is you forget. Look at their bottom 6 forwards. There's a bunch of fast, big kids in there.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Their second line right now is Casey Middlestad. Okay, which fine. He's going to be there all year. But then he's playing with Nikolai Kovalenko and Callum Ritchie. You're like, okay, that's your second line?
Okay, but I'm going to look at it this way. I'm saying that bottom 6 we're going to know more of by the time we get to 20 games in. That's what I'm calling. Like, they've developed these guys along. Who did I have down here? I forget. But and they're all like 23 to 27.
Ivan, including him.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of them guys in there that they looked pretty good last year in the playoffs. They just didn't win. Give them another year experience with a guy like McKinnon leading the charge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I'm leaning towards a Dallas, the same division, Dallas Avs. If the standings go a certain way, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the conference finals.
With Colorado, I really want to see how the first 20 games go for them because
Sure.
like, because we've seen this before. I mean, it's been a long time, but like I always go back to this: the 2006-07 Avalanche, Paul Stastny's rookie year. They were behind the 8 ball from the beginning. They plowed through the second half, like they were amazing in the second half, but it was too little, too late. They missed the playoffs by like a handful of points.
Yep.
I'm worried that could be the fate of this Colorado team if they struggle early.
I think McKinnon's strong enough to keep him out of the.
He's one guy though, Cruz. We know, like you can't just do it with one guy in the NHL anymore.
When you got McCarr and they're
well,
top
if one of those
defensemen,
guys gets injured.
Well, we're not talking about injury. We're talking
I'm
about
just saying,
perfect world.
but I'm saying they're an injury away from
Every
serious
team's
problems.
an injury away when you
No,
think
I
about it.
don't think so.
Well, okay.
Well,
we'll
because
get
the
down
Leafs
the
have
road.
had serious injuries and they've never fallen out of the playoffs with the Matthews team.
Okay, well, yeah, that was in 1 year. What do you think of Colorado?
I think they're fine. Like,
Do you have
even
him
if
third, I'm guessing?
I do have him third as well, yeah. I mean, they got the star powers there. Like,
Yeah.
Rantanen's there as well.
Yeah, come on.
They got all these guys. Like, once they come back, I think they'll be fine. Even if the guy does get injured, I think they have a good mentality, and they proved it, like, a year in, year out. That's just next guy up, and that guy will fill in that role and play as hard as he can.
I think they're deep enough with the young guys. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of teams are like guys that have, like, the older guys.
I don't think they're stronger than Nashville, though.
We'll put it to the
Or
test.
at least they
I
won't
like
finish as
Nashville.
high as Nashville.
Okay.
Let's not forget Nashville. Like,
No, I'm
they're a
high
very
on
stingy
Nashville.
team,
No, that's what I like, the back end,
and
because
arguably the best goalie in the league. plays for
arguably
that
the
team.
best goalie. And like we were saying,
and arguably the best defenseman.
and and I'm going to say all that, but I'm going to say how do they mesh when the new guys come in, and their bottom six is solid, but like every other team. But what, like you're saying, is they're all defensive responsibility guys. So the thing is about them is that you got to look at it. Like, there's another little thing when I've noticed when you're in the playoffs here. First of all, if you have a differential, it probably won't make the playoffs, as we said before. But they're going to be a top 10 defensive team, maybe top 5. But you also have to be a top 10 scoring team. That's usually the combination that'll get you there. The Leafs have done it for years. Top 2 or 3 scoring and just inside maybe. Not last year. I think they were 12th. But like they're a team that, you know what I mean? They hover in there. But if you don't have both of those, most of the time you won't be a contender. And I'm just saying, I think that's why I moved Nashville up as far as I did. Look at the scoring they added. What was their biggest problem? Like I said,
Yeah,
a second
second
line
line,
of
they
more
got- they
scoring.
got one.
Marchessault and Stamkos, welcome to the show.
And
some
they got,
of-
I like Tommy Novak. He scored
Oh.
45 points last year, but I think those numbers are going to shoot way up
I
with
do too.
Stamkos
I do.
and Marchessault and his
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Who you're playing with. So, okay, if you guys are right, I will acquiesce, Stephen. If you guys all want to put the Nashville at second, because I'm very high on that team too. Like, you know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see when we get to the end, and we're talking about this already, even though it's way in advance.
Yeah.
Who will the 4 teams be? I think that's going to be maybe the strongest division in hockey, this division right here.
Could very well be.
It's looking
Could
like
very
it,
well
yeah.
be. My question about Nashville, though, is how much can this second line propel this team? I think we all can agree very much.
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah, come on.
That's what they've been needing.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
kidding. And their defense is big. Like, people don't talk about their third or fourth or fifth defenseman. These guys are all big, mobile guys. So they're making Yossi's job a little bit easier. It's been going on for a couple years. So you guys could be right. I just got this, what do they say, gut instinct?
Yeah, sneaking suspicion.
Sneaking suspicion that Colorado's going to do more just because of the top end guys, and they've already won.
Yeah.
Nashville hasn't won. Stamkos has won, though. And who else on the team? Marchessault's won, yeah. So they got guys on the team that have won a cup, so they could do that. But when you're with the team already and you are winning, you haven't come from another thing, I think that makes it a little tighter at times.
And they got
You know,
Luke Shen, Ryan O'Reilly. Those guys have won cups.
Yeah.
Ryan O'Reilly's a finals or Stanley Cup MVP, I should say.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll keep our eye on Nashville. What do you think of the rest of the division, guys?
I got Utah number 4, and I have him in a wild card spot.
What?
I was close to putting that, but I
What?
I guess that's another one of my hot takes. I think Utah's going to be in the playoffs.
don't hate
Utah.
I don't hate it.
Okay, I love their owner. I love their concessions. I love how the cities embrace them. I like how many players will want to. But how many players will want to play in Salt Lake City, unless Ryan, what's his name, opens up the books. They were 22.
Well, hold on. Utah, like, it's a great place for your family. If you're single, you might have something to say about that.
But
if you got a family, it's a great spot.
I've heard rumblings about when you get young players to Utah and they start getting nights off, that they start looking around and going, well, you know what? That's just, me. I won't go there. But okay,
here's
wait.
my thing about Utah. Oh, sorry.
Okay. We'll look this. Okay. The owner will be welcoming to get players there because he's just as much of a fan as he is a player. We all know that. We're going to get there, right? But they were 22 points out of a playoff game. Is Logan Cooley going to blossom? Is he going to be one of the guys that's going to be taking him there?
He was a guy, he struggled the first half of the season, but once he kind of got his legs underneath him, started to realize, this is how the NHL works, then he started to propel. And especially once they started to put him with Dylan Gunther,
yes,
that was a real key there. And now they're playing together on the second line with Jack McBain.
I noticed that. That's why I brought up his name. I'm saying that's one of the guys that could suddenly emerge. That, he's good, but this is the season he takes.
The breakout player.
The breakout guy. Yeah. He's definitely with that. And you know what? They got young defensemen.
They beefed up their D, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got some young guys. They got Sergachev back there, and he's somewhat of a leader. You know what I mean?
And they got in Ian Cole, who I like a lot. And they brought in Sean Dursey, too.
But I don't see them as a player.
Either way. He's a good guy to have there.
Yeah.
Utah, you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I have him just.
John Marino. He's the other guy I was thinking of.
I have him just missing out.
I have, when you get down to, they'll be playing meaningful games in March.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think when it gets to the end, I don't think they're going to have enough to get them in there.
Consider this, though. Arizona last year, they were in a playoff spot for the early part of the season, and then the news came out that they were moving away, and then the bottom fell out.
That's a good point.
That, plus they beefed up their D. I think they're going to be able to find the early season form. Plus, I don't think their goaltender gets talked about nearly enough, Connor Ingram. Well, he was spectacular last year.
No, he was solid. I'm not going to argue with that either. I just say I don't know.
I think their home ice advantage is going to be a very real thing there. I think that crowd's going to be fired up every single game. I think they're going to win a lot of home games. Number 7 seed in the West.
Wow, number 7.
Yeah.
What about the fans in Utah, the one end that can't see half the ice?
They're gonna fix that next year. That's they won't be complaining when they have their $2
they're gonna have some really those
so.
LED heavy duty screens there. So you're just on your couch, but you're at the game, right?
Exactly.
I love this owner though, and I love if you hear the buzz in the city about the team, and they're a West team. We're talking about San Jose, they can't get no buzz, and they've got a team that you're saying is going to be exciting. But we're hearing about Utah.
Well, because they're new.
Well, I think it's because the owner knows how to play the game with the press.
No, but anytime there's a new team, too, there's going to be a little bit of buzz about that, right?
They're Arizona Coyotes.
Oh, in the 90s, I'm sure there was a buzz about them.
I guess. Not from me, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying?
That is the least shocking thing I've heard today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So where do you guys have, out of curiosity, where do you guys have Utah finishing in the division?
I have them ranked 5th.
Yeah.
5th? Okay.
Yeah, that's where I have them too. And the rest of the guys I don't think even count.
Well, we're doing a full preview show.
Let's get to them.
So I got Winnipeg as my 5th team.
So
that's the swap. I got Winnipeg 4.
Do you have them in the playoffs?
I do.
So they're your wild card 1 or 2?
I have them as my.
Actually, I put Utah as my wild card 2, but not that.
Yeah, they're my wild card 2.
Okay.
Utah?
I got Utah as my wild card 2. He has Winnipeg as his wild card 2.
I have Winnipeg missing the playoffs.
Yeah, so we're in similar thinking there. So I think they have a deep, balanced lineup, but they're kind of stagnant. They didn't really do anything last season.
They were front runners.
They're really gonna need all hands on deck to make the playoffs. And that could change if Cole Perfetti really steps up and kind of becomes that next quote unquote franchise player. But I fear there's not too much there. Also, Alex Iafallo's on their 4th line. That's just very weird.
Well,
yeah, that is. I don't think.
And their defense doesn't really scare me that much.
They got Hellebuck.
He can't do
I just
it.
think as long as you got Hellebuck, you got a chance.
No. But what about the scoring? They got Connors and Scheifele or Scheifler.
Scheifele.
Yep.
That's it. Okay, who are they going to score behind them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If
Is Josh Morrissey going to be somebody?
He's
points.
good.
Yeah,
okay.
He's small though.
Yeah.
You still got Nick Ehlers there.
Yeah,
you said Cole Perfetti.
This might be the end of the road for Ehlers in Winnipeg though, because it doesn't sound like he's going to sign back because they never give him minutes on the top line.
And let's take it one step further. That's what I'm saying. The infrastructure of the team, something seems to be a little, I don't know, out of whack there. They got cap money though. They got a little bit of cap money.
Yeah, but they're not a team that can spend to the cap, though, especially in this economy now when they're not even selling out.
Oh, okay, so then you're telling me all the reasons why I say they're not making the playoffs.
I'm with you on
Okay,
that.
I don't think they're making the playoffs.
I think they're like a 9-10 team in the West.
And they'll be playing meaningful games too, because
Right to the
I think
very
the
end, yeah.
competition, but
Yep.
when the cream rises, they won't be one of the ones that'll be there. That's what I'm thinking.
That's fair.
Yep.
Next up, I have the Minnesota Wild. So their big question is Gustafsson, because he was horrendous last year for them in net. But if he can bounce back, that completely changes the equation for Minnesota. I don't know if he's going to quite go back to that form, but that's obviously number one. But then also there's the youngsters, Rossi, Boldy, Faber. If they can continue to improve, that could be another thing to push up this team. But for now, I say they're number 6.
So you're saying they're not making the playoffs?
They're not making the playoffs.
Okay, I think they're going to make a big jump because of all those guys that you said. If they all improve, and they've got what's his name?
Kaprizov. Oh, also, another thing to consider too is Zuccarello is playing at 36. Is he?
Okay, I'm not worried. Okay, so he'll be on the third line by the time we get to the 20-game mark.
But then he needs to find another top 6 forward though to replace him.
I think they got what? Don't you give Brock Ferber some respect in this team?
Oh, he's a defenseman.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they need something on the back end to support there, and they got a couple other guys
winning. Fine, actually.
Yeah, leading by him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I think
the goaltending. That's their biggest concern, number one.
Okay.
With the Gustafsson and Fleury.
Okay, but I mean,
gritting my teeth.
They didn't have bad numbers last year. They didn't have horrible numbers.
Gustafsson did.
Well, because the save percentage, okay, that's what I say. The save percentage kind of, I went, hard to defend you, buddy, with that. But I think that can improve because I think their defense is going to be improved. I got them borderline, maybe even being a number 8 team this year.
Are you going to have them in the playoffs? Are they a wild card team for you? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No, because I just looked at my list again. They all can't get in, can they?
Nope. Although next year things.
No, wait. Yes, I will have them in.
As your number 8 seed?
They will be my 8th seed.
Okay.
Okay.
I like how we're all different on our wild cards for the Central.
I really like Minnesota, and they had a rash of injuries last year during the year. Like, if you look at their lineup, this guy missed 20 games, this guy missed 20 games. The kids were just coming up at the end. They got leadership. They can score. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You add all that up, and as long as the goaltending holds up, but they got those guys on the back end, and I think Brock Farber's going to come. This another potential guys for breakout year.
Yeah, I mean, I expect his minutes to go up. So
yeah.
We could see that next step. I'm assuming he put on some weight this summer, too.
Yeah, so the whole night. And he's what, 21, 22?
Yeah, he's a youngster.
And look the way he already plays.
I like Marco Rossi a lot, too. I think he could be a breakout player.
And what's he, 23?
Yeah, he's only a couple years older.
Yeah, so what do you think? So you don't think the Wild are making the playoffs?
I don't think they're making the playoffs. I actually have them at my the 7th seed for the Central.
So you have him in?
No.
Oh, for the
second.
second.
Oh, 7th in the Central.
Whoa, you have him second last in the division. I mean, I guess it's not too far away from me. But.
Yeah, it's only one below.
Yeah.
But I mean, considering who's below them for me, I would say it's a bit of a surprise because I have St. Louis next. So I have him described as Winnipeg Light. And is this the league's most boring team?
You know what I mean?
Actually, maybe not because they're going to allow a lot of goals because their defense sucks.
Okay, but they got 620 goal scorers and they got Binnington. Okay, so maybe
Binnington's a little bit of a hothead, though.
Okay,
he's kept it calm. Last year he didn't have any issues.
No,
and they're also cursed to have Ryan Suter now. Let's not forget.
Okay, but that's only because I seen Puckpedia. I went, oh, that one hurts. But you think St. Louis has no chance? I've heard some pundits say that they're going to sneak into the playoffs.
I mean,
No
I have them
chance.
6th in the Central. So, I think they'll be like an 80-point team. Like, they'll be 500.
They'll be competitive.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing. And they have still a lot of guys from that cup-winning team that,
Well, yeah, but they're all long in the tooth, too. That's what I'm saying. I looked at
look at their forward group, and, Dylan Holloway's playing on their top line. Come on.
Okay.
Listen,
he's good.
Your opening lineup,
okay, he's good. Okay,
there's always time for changes.
Okay, I agree.
It's weird. It's weird is my point.
But they had a nice run at the end last year. Like, they were battling down to the end, and when I first started doing some research, I had them a little higher on my list. Then I took a look around and I said, well, everyone can improve and someone's got to fall back. Are they the fallback team? Obviously, you guys are putting them in the fallback thing, and with me saying Minnesota is going to make the playoffs, I can't love everybody. You know what I mean? So, so I'm saying St. Louis, sorry about your luck.
Yeah, I'm saying this could be a bottom 5 team.
Mm-hmm. Like that, the drop will be precipitous.
Yeah.
I think them and Winnipeg will be the two teams that people look around the league and go, "Whoa, what happened to them?" But wait till we get to some
I think
other
Winnipeg's
divisions.
goaltending is too good for that. But I mean, if he gets injured,
they're done.
then
Yeah.
they're in trouble.
They're done.
Yeah.
So you think Winnipeg's going to hold on to a playoff spot?
I say they're just gonna miss.
Just going to miss.
Yeah.
I'm with that too.
And then last but not least in the Central, I have the Chicago Blackhawks. Improved at every position, and with help, they should be much better. But they are still the worst team in a very strong division. They need their young talent to develop more. Bottom 10 team, but not a bottom 5 team in my books.
Wow.
They won't finish second last.
Yes.
So that's hence the reason I'm going to say those nights when Connor Bedard gets checked to death or doesn't have his top night, that'll keep him just away from 100 points. I know your brother over there is screaming because I think he's a secret Connor Bedard lover. But
Hey.
okay, see, he is.
That's supposed to be our secret.
Okay. I'm not saying.
Big age gap, Andrew.
Yeah.
Am I gonna get accused of grooming now?
No, we'll put that on the back burner for now. But that's what I think. And Chicago's got a few good young guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're going to be another team that's going to be exciting. I don't know how they're going to play defense. You know what I mean? I think they're back end, so they're going to be one of those teams. I think they're going to both their goal scoring is going to increase, but so is the amount of goals that they allow.
I don't think so because they beefed up their defense too. They added Martinez and they added TJ Brody.
The Toronto guy. That's the first time I got to say Toronto on the preview. This is going to be so much fun.
It's a preview show now.
Toronto.
And they added Laurent Brossois as well as their backup. So it's not Mrazek just being thrown out there every game.
I agree, but no, I don't. No, they won't. I think they'll be fun to watch. Bedard will have good nights. Like, those nights I'll have 4 points and lose 6-4.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of those games. That's what I'm seeing. But good luck to Bedard, and hopefully he plays good enough that your brother can love him in the Four Nations.
I think I will.
I hope we all do.
Really, that's the advance we want. No doubt.
All right, so I guess we can. Anything else for the Central, or? I guess we could just throw this.
I'm just going to say this. When we're doing our show all year, we just went through the Central Division. Unless those teams are playing insanely, I bet you that's one of the divisions we talk about the least.
That's not true because we talked about Colorado and Dallas a lot last year.
Oh, that's true. Okay, then, yeah. Okay.
And Winnipeg was a big topic last year.
But I think the rest of the guys will fall off unless Minnesota rises up the way that I want them to.
Maybe.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, so now let's get into the Pacific Division where I got to be honest, I found it really tough to pick a division winner for this. It was a 3-horse race for me, but I'm going to relent and say Edmonton is going to win the division this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you all
it's gonna be a 3-way dogfight, though, I'm calling it.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you all the reasons they're not going to win the division, okay?
I can tell you why they're not going to win either, but yes, let's go for it.
Okay, so number one.
Goaltending?
Yeah, I didn't want to. Come on, let's not pick on. Do you like Stuart Skinner?
I think he's good. I
don't think he's that good.
I don't think he's anything special. Other teams, he can go on another team and just be average.
I think that he just got hot at the right time.
He definitely did.
And in the playoffs, even though when he got hot, he still let in some of those Skinner goals.
Well, they had to put in Calvin Pickard for a couple games. He was having those Skinner games.
And Calvin Pickard's one of those guys, if you were to rank all the goalies, he might be 70th.
Okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, so you're adding on to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And they lost a couple of key pieces.
Yep, their depth on D is definitely not great.
No.
But this is Edmonton. I think they're going to outscore a lot of their problems.
Oh, I think so too. Let's not deny that. This is the Edmonton Oilers. But I think it's going to be the back end of their game with Mr. Skinner that's going to keep them out of the first place in the division.
Fair enough.
Because if you want to say we're going to start talking about who you think's going to win the division, I'm going back to Vegas, baby.
That's what I got.
I was going to say Vegas, but I chickened out last second.
Okay, what are you saying, Vegas?
I just think with the team they have on there, come on, there's no doubt. Unless they get injured.
They're a little weak on the wing, though.
I noticed that too, but they're really strong up the center and that back end of the defense. When you look at their defense, they got a bunch of freaking moving oak trees back there.
They got a little weaker in goal as well.
Yeah, well,
if Aiden Hill goes down, you got a lot.
they're hurt.
But
that's what you were saying about a lot of teams, right? Like I looked around at a lot of the backup goaltending. It's there, but
I mean that's a reality of the NHL now, though. Like your goalie is probably going to get hurt at one point.
Yep.
Well, that's a lot of teams kept 3. A lot of teams. I heard more teams kept 3 goalies in a long, long time.
Oh, we just got some Central or some Pacific news, so at perfect time actually.
Okay.
So I'll bring that up when need be. But where do you guys have Edmonton? I'm guessing number 2.
I got him at number 2. Yep, 100%.
So we're just flipped there because I have Vegas as my number 2.
Okay. But Vegas, they're another one of those teams. Like if they've got enough veteran guys, like when you look at them, they're strong up the middle with Eichel and how do you say it? Bursov? Barbashev.
Well, Barbashev's a winger, but it's Eichel, William Karlsson, and Tomas Hertl who are their top 3 centers. I think that's very strong.
Solid. That's very solid.
You're just wondering about
Barbashev. I say is going to be in the run for the Selke. He's another of my Selke guys.
Ooh, a winger for the Selke. That's interesting.
Why not? Sometimes they should be.
It's been a while. I think Yuri Letninen's been the last one. That was 2003.
Because that's press bias, but that's another story. We'll get that another time. I think that, the thing about Vegas is they're not that old, and they were just there recently. So you know what I mean? So they got the core there, and they've added some good youngsters, and the defense is big.
I agree. It's just like
the
youngsters on the second line, Dorofeyev, Holtz. I'm curious about them because I don't know what to quite expect from them. I mean, I've read their scouting reports, but I mean, that's
potential.
Right?
But if they reach half of the potential you hear about these guys,
sure.
You got a couple 20-goal scorers there.
Sure. And added Victor Olofsson, who I don't know why Buffalo let a guy like that go.
Yeah, and Buffalo needs him, but we'll get to Buffalo later.
Yeah, we'll get to
All right.
And their D, I mean, it's Pietrangelo, Theodore, Noah Hannafin, Nicholas Hague, Zach Whitecloud, Braden McNabb. Yeah. McNabb's still one of the day one guys on that team.
Exactly, yeah. But that's all beasts, by the way. That's just 4 beasts right there. And they'll play the men of the minute. So all you have to do for your third defense, you got 5 right there. So whoever plays with one of those guys on their third pairing, all they have to do is be even every night. And the team's ahead of the game. And 90% of the time, they will be even, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I like Vegas a lot.
Also, there's the Eichel equation. Can he finally rise? Can he finally be like that 90-point guy that Vegas acquired him to be?
Okay,
how many games is he going to miss, too?
How old is he now, 28?
Yes, he is 28.
You think he's got the potential to get a hun? I do.
If things break his way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to be a every season 100-point guy, but I mean, once or twice in his career, why not?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Could this be the year? The thing about that guy is the injury bug, though, eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like the fused thing in his neck or whatever, his back.
But anyways, we're all on the Vegas thing, and I think Eichel's going to have a breakout year. Is this year he gets 40 goals too?
I hope so. I like the guy.
Oh, I like the guy too.
I'm rooting for him.
I think part of the reason, you watch how players skate and move. Sometimes I think because I'm not saying he plays straight up, but you know how he skates? Like he doesn't, like he's got good strides, but he doesn't look like McKinnon. Mm-hmm. He doesn't look like Matthews. He's got a great stride, but there's something about his stride. It looks like he's exposed to getting nailed or something. I don't know.
It's got to be something.
There has to be something there just because how many times he's been injured. Mm-hmm. But anyway, our number one thing at the house that happens, Stephen, is we try not to say people suck, and we hope that there's no such thing as injuries, correct?
Yeah, well, I'm with you on the injuries, but if a guy sucks, I'll call him out. We tried that for a couple weeks. It didn't work.
Okay.
Number 3, it shouldn't really be a surprise. I got the Vancouver Canucks. Before the Demko news came out, I had them as my number 1 team in the division again. Straight up.
Really?
I think people are sleeping on the Canucks because don't forget. I think it was really their goaltending that cost them that series against the Oilers in the playoffs.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt.
And back to front last year, they were one of, if not the strongest teams in the NHL. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the Demko factor. But they're very strong up front, very strong on D. I think their backup goaltending is good enough to hold them in there.
Really? That's Lincoln and that Silos guy, right?
Seeloff. Yeah.
Seeloff. That's what I got a question mark right here beside those two guys.
I think Seeloff's is pretty good.
Well, we'll see, because I don't think Demko's going to be around for a month. Whatever they're telling.
At least.
I think this is going to turn into a Christian McCafferty thing of the NHL.
Ooh.
I hate to say that, knock wood. Maybe
you should have saved that for the hot takes.
Okay, maybe I should have. But I was saving it for here. That's when I wanted to talk about Vancouver. And the number one thing is they can score up front because they got that, JT Miller, Peterson, Bosner guy.
Besser,
whatever. I never get their names like that. Hoglander guy could be.
They added DeBrusque and Heinen, who are good like
yes, you're going to go.
Guys.
But here's one of the things that I'm going to play to you, Steven. Do you think they're physical enough?
I think they are.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think they play up to their size.
They definitely don't. You're right. They definitely have room. They got more room to play like tougher and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe this year will be that year that they finally do that.
Well, I thought that when they lost to Edmonton, not just the goaltending, but towards the end, and we were talking about that on one of the shows, Edmonton got a little bit more physical with them in the end, and that's what pushed them out. But when you look at the size of the team, Vancouver's not a small team.
No.
You know what I mean? They got their fair share of big boys. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, those guys that they added to have a little bit of that edge
grit.
to them,
That's
right?
what I said too, because they're going to have to need it. But if they don't have Demko for the first month, whoo!
Do you have Vancouver as your number 3 team, though?
Yes, I do.
I'm assuming you do as well, Steven?
I do.
Yeah.
And they picked up one of the best fourth liners in hockey, Daniel Sprong.
Point well taken.
He is playing on the second line with Peterson and DeBrusque to start the year.
He's finally getting a shot in someone's top
Sprong,
six.
is he the one that's Dutch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Great skater.
Agreed.
Great skater.
Like if you looked at like his minute, like his points per minute last year, he was like up
He's
there.
like
His
you know
points
what
per
he is?
60 was insane.
Yeah,
he was like
points per 60. That's it.
But he was like the Nick Robertson of out there.
Yeah.
The same shit, because when I seen those numbers come up on the thing, they were both in.
That's right, yeah.
When you check that points per minute thing, both of their names were in top 5 or whatever it is. So yeah, he could be another breakout guy. I just love the way he skates.
Oh yeah, me too.
You know, like where he's from. He's from where?
Netherlands.
Yeah, they're usually those guys in the Olympics that skate real fast. Remember,
There
they
you go.
always
The
win
speed
then.
skaters,
Very strong speed skaters.
So maybe that's where he's got some of his juice from. I'm thinking, because that boy can skate. Damn. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got somebody in here that'll be supporting me in just a matter of time. I know that.
So my number 4 team in the Pacific, and I have them in the first wild card seed, the Seattle Kraken.
Oh, you were reading my notes, weren't you?
Really?
I got Seattle in there too.
How's it going, Serge? We have the proprietor in the house.
Yes,
You've met
it
my
is, 'cause-
brother, right?
Yeah. I've got them in there too. You got them making the playoffs?
7 seed, number 7 seed.
I think that they could be.
Steven's biting his lip. I don't think he's got Seattle in the playoffs.
I do not. No, I have him just missing out as well, just on the outside.
Seattle, they are a very, very deep team. 4 lines deep, good D. The goaltending's a question, but I think Matty Beniers is going to bounce back.
See, yeah, that's like I do agree. Like their team, I'd say they have 4 second lines, which is good.
Yeah, kind of like Vegas year 1 vibes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Matty Beniers, Jared McCann, Jordan Eberle. And by the way, actually, I'll save this. So Cruz, Jordan Eberle just got named captain of Seattle, which, I mean, we kind of all saw coming.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I love
he's-
Eberle.
Yeah, I did too. And he didn't have any room anymore where he was. That's why you end up over there.
Yeah.
But I mean, is Shane Wright going to blossom this year? He looked pretty good in preseason
the
this
thing,
year.
yeah.
Well, he's on the 3rd line, so he doesn't
He's
even
on
have
the-
to be that good, right?
No, but he just has to be the Shane Wright everyone
Yeah.
said he is. Put his ego in his back pocket and play hockey.
Yeah, and I love their offseason additions. I love that they added Chandler Stevenson. I love that they added Montour.
Yeah. Both of those guys are put him up there, and I don't mind their goaltending.
No, I mean, Grubauer, health is a little bit of an issue for him. I think that's really the only concern. But him and Decourt, I think, are more than, whatever.
Steven, I think
than
they
good
stubbed their
combo.
toe, because remember 2 years ago
More
they
than
made the
serviceable.
playoffs.
Yep.
2 years ago they made the
They
playoffs.
upset Colorado in the
did.
first round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They stubbed their toe. They got the nucleus and they added younger guys that made them stronger. I see them going to be like, let's talk to them about them after 20 games. You know
Sure.
what I mean? They could be one of the teams. Interesting. We both had Seattle in there, right?
No, I love their forward group. Like me and Simon were saying how they basically have 4 number 2 lines, kind of like Vegas year 1
Oh, yeah.
vibes,
And you know,
right?
I would rather have 4 number 2 lines than not 1 number 1 and 3 number 3s
Oh,
and no number
exactly.
4.
Exactly.
So
Balance is key.
You got it. You know, basically for a while there, 2 years ago when Florida was in the finals, even though they had Kachuk and stuff and what's his name, Barkov was just rising up. They always looked like a team that had, because Reinhardt got better in that too. But remember, they always looked like a team that had 4 number 2 lines.
Sure.
You know, but now, of course, you can say those guys are number 1 wingers. Go back a couple of years ago. Remember that you would be saying that about Florida. So yeah, that could be interesting.
My next team in there, I have the LA Kings, who, by my rankings, I have them missing the playoffs.
Oh,
I think they're very strong up front, but lack of Doughty with weak goaltending is a huge issue.
Are you reading my notes? Are you reading my notes? I got almost verbatim what you had said there. The Doughty loss is going to be huge, and the goaltending issue for sure. They got a couple guys I like. What's going to happen with Garvelikov? Do you think I should have thought about hot takes. He might be a guy that becomes available at the trade deadline when LA is in trouble because someone's going to be sellers, right?
Yep. Well, what's his contract like?
Not too bad. I checked it out on Puckpedia.
He's still got term, though, right?
I think 2. He does, 2 years, and it's not bad money.
No, he's on the last year of his deal, so yeah, that's a good take.
Yeah, because I was saying, I'm going like, if LA's all of a sudden look like they're in trouble at trade deadline,
bye-bye.
That's one of the guys that I noticed. I want to thank you, by the way, for making me look at Puckpedia. Because
formerly cap friendly before
but I've read it more in the last 2 months than I ever have, because you notice, like, you go there and, oh, look, these guys got cap space. Or this team's playing their game interesting. Oh, there's trade bait. You know what I mean? And you see it, and that's one of the guys that come up. And I like him. So, Serge, that's who the Habs are going to get when we're struggling for getting that playoff spot, and we need that extra guy.
You guys could use a Gavrikov.
Oh, you're damn right we could. There's no doubt about that. So let's keep that in mind, Serge. That'll be our Dear Santa. We're not asking for much. We've been good boys. We heard LA has some issues. We've done good with LA in the past. Let's go back to the Guy Lafleur days. Can you help us out again?
That was Oakland.
Oakland. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oakland. Oh, yeah, we made the trade with L.A., though, to get him. That was a sneaky move. You know the history of that?
I know a little bit. Well, that's
okay. That's another story for another day.
Different story, yeah. But, I mean, Quentin Byfield could be a potentially big breakout player. But,
He's got potential. Young, big.
You know, looking at their team, though, on second thought, like, they're not as strong on the wing as you might think.
No, and I don't think their defense is as deep as people put it out to be. And if you remember, they were like...
Brent Clark is an interesting guy.
Yes.
I was going to say him for another breakout candidate, especially now with Doughty out. Like, let's see what he can do. If he
interesting.
Can step up.
Do you have LA in the playoffs?
I do, but that's the thing. These teams like LA, Winnipeg, Seattle, Utah, they're kind of all interchangeable for me.
Nice fence-sitting move. Cruz would approve.
Oh, bro. Oh, that was a shot if I've ever heard one. I'm trying not to stay on the fence, okay? I'm clearly pushing myself off of it. You know what? Then you've learned one of the nicer things from your family. You don't want to kick everybody to the curb. He just kicks people hard. You know what I mean?
He's
yes, at times. You know what I mean? He's just, you must be the polite one in the family. I get it. Okay. I get it.
I don't know about that.
But none of us, you got the Kings making it?
I do, yeah. I have him as the second wild card.
Well, when your brother said the only coach that was going to be fired was what's his name, and we all can agree with that. The other guy I thought it was L.A. because at first I thought they're going to be good enough to do it, but Doughty's such a huge loss. Yeah. Like he's a glue guy.
Massive.
Thank you very much. So when he's not there, like I'm saying, buddy, that you mentioned, Clark, if he steps up, he's good because he's a great skater. He moves the puck well. He even got the guys out in front of the net. But what happens is there another team member at the beginning of the year? Up in there, I had them picking going to the semifinals or the finals because I thought they were good.
They were your Stanley Cup pick on our preseason show last year.
Because I loved them to death.
Brent Clark, Conn Smythe, I believe.
Yeah, I was just losing my mind on them, and then all of a sudden they hit about, what was it, January? And if you look at their record from January on, like they sandbagged. They're like lucky they pack points.
Oh yeah,
because they were in big trouble coming down the stretch. And what did they do in the playoffs, Kim? Ushum 0-0, bye-bye. Mm-hmm. 4 straight, wasn't it?
Yep. And it got worse and worse every series against Edmonton. They lost in 6 and lost in 5.
That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be a fall-off for them. One thing we all want to say here at the House That Happens, and we mean this sincerely, we hope to see Drew Doughty back as quick as we can.
Agreed.
Because
he's
now,
one of our favorites.
Not only that, but now him and Marchand are both, I believe, will be on the borderline when it comes to the Four Nations. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't say that a year ago. You're going to say those guys are gimmies. But with the circumstances that's come up, and even though I don't like Marchand, I hope he comes back to a very healthy player that he was. He will never be as productive, though. Screw him.
Tell us how you really feel.
Okay. Are we done with that division? We got one more.
We got 3 more teams.
Yeah, I'm just going to say.
So next up is what I called one of the most exciting teams this year, the Anaheim Ducks.
I got them there as well.
I have him number 6.
Okay, Gibson's out in the net. So who's going to play goal for them?
Dostal.
You're high on him, right?
He was very good last year until he played the Leafs, but then I had to kind of like, yeah.
He gets a lot of props.
Was it last year or the year before where he faced like 50 shots and he only allowed like 2?
Maybe.
A couple of games. A couple of games. Yeah, no,
No, but it was one against the Leafs specifically because I'm like, oh my god, like this guy.
No, I remember last year the Leafs lit him up.
So then
I was talking him up on the show and that happened, and Cruz was like, "Oh, what do you think about your goalie now?" I'm like,
yeah, but he did have a nice run before that.
He had a great run.
And I'm going to say this, and one of the guys I listen to a bit when he talks about him because he's a goalie. Jamie McLennan's high on this guy.
Yeah.
And when you hear him talk, like even on the broadcast and stuff, he's very high and docile. But I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen because what do they got up front here?
Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson, Alex Killor in line 1. Line 2 is Robbie Fabry, Mason McTavish, Trevor Zegras. Then Vetrano, Strome, Ryan Strome, and Troy Terry, line 3. Those are very good lines.
They had 59 points and a 91-something goal differential.
That's going to be a lot better this year.
That's too huge to make up at one time. Come on.
I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs.
Nah.
I'm saying they're the number 6 team in their division.
We won't even be talking about them unless someone scores 10 goals in a game.
I'm telling you, Leo
Steven,
Carlson, breakout player of the year.
I like him. No. I mean, like, if you go on every team, you're going to find something like that. But what do you I've already told him. I'm dismissing him.
Zegras is going to be back for a full season this year. Let's not forget how that kind of threw him off.
Steven.
Yeah.
I will talk by December. I bet you we won't even be talking about Anaheim on the show, except I'll be reminding them why they're a bottom 5 team.
I know. I think their youth is finally ready on that.
Oh,
team.
They're young. They're going to be a year away. Like they're like more to Chicago, like me. Don't get me wrong. I looked at their lineup. They got 4 or 5 first rounders sitting around in that lineup.
Menchikov was very good too when he got called up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got 4 or 5 first rounders.
I thought Zellweger was going to make the team, but
no, he didn't make it. He didn't make it. No, he got set down. It was a salary cap thing. Yeah, or
whatever
waiver thing. They didn't want one of those deals. They got just like your boy Lowen Cowan got sent down. Why? Because of the waiver situation.
Well, he wasn't going to make the team anyways.
I didn't think so. Anyway, he looked better last year, but we'll get back to that later. Anyways, I don't think Anaheim is going to be doing anything. They'll be disappeared. The only team that I think is going to be more suspect than that is the team after that we've got left in the division, which is...
Well, we got 2 left.
Okay, who said we got left?
San Jose. I have them second last.
Yeah.
So they made some good additions. Some, not a ton. But, I mean, down the middle, they got Celebrini, Will Smith, Venberg. That's pretty good top 3. And they added to Foley to help a weak forward group. Defense and goaltending are still huge issues, but I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year.
Okay, so they're going to have a...
Slight improvement.
Okay, yeah.
They added Cody Ceci as well.
Then they lost Logan Couture.
Logan Couture?
Couture. Didn't they let him?
Well, no, he's still there. He's just injured.
Oh, is that what it is? I was looking at his lineup. I said, where did he go?
And Vlasic is injured as well.
Yeah, so they're another team we won't be talking about.
And then actually Askarov is injured too to start the season. That sucks.
No.
But they still have Mackenzie Blackwood and Vanacek. I mean, they're not going to light up the world, but I mean, they're still like serviceable guys you can throw in there.
Are they going to use up their cap space? Like teams around the league, can't you borrow from your neighbor?
No, you can't.
Look at San
I mean,
Jose.
they're only $8 million below. That's not. There's teams there. I think Anaheim's got a lot more cap space than that.
Oh, they got 20, I think it is, which is more insane. And we should be bringing that up. I'm going to use it, but can you explain something to me? What's dead cap hit? Deadline cap hit? Is that when
deadline? So you can like accrue cap space as the season goes on. Basically.
So some teams are going to be in good position, like Boston and a few others. I had it written down here. I should gone there because I didn't understand what that mean. I thought it meant more along the lines like Evander Kane is not playing anymore, so you don't have to put him against your cap. LTR.
No, well, even if a player is LTIR'd, he still counts against your cap, but you just get like his cap added as like a cushion, basically.
So what's this dead cap thing?
Dead cap is more
deadline cap. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Deadline cap is like how much you can accrue throughout the season. So it's like, think about like you go to the bank and like you collect interest. It's like that basically.
Okay, so I don't understand how I'm going to collect interest if I got the same mofos on my team all season. What it means if you're going to Jetson somebody.
The closer you are to the cap, the less you accrue, I believe. So the more cap space you have, you continue to build more.
Where do you get the equity from?
What do you mean?
If you, like you say, you put the money in, you're getting interest. Where are you getting interest? I'm confused.
This is lawyer stuff.
Isn't that like LTIRing players? Like, don't you accrue cap space through that?
That's what I thought. I'm wondering where you.
I thought it was because either way,
Okay, so we will research this a little bit better because I ran into the wall.
I'm obviously not a capologist.
I thought your brother was a better capologist.
I
than
thought
that.
he was too.
We're going to leave
I'm
the
actually let
fans hanging because your brother could not answer a cap question. Oh, just weakened our standings in society.
I brought the CPA to the beach this year, but I fell asleep reading it. So.
I bet you did. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting, like the accruing part. And I heard someone saying about it, and I said, well, I'll just ask Andrew. He'll tell me what it is. I'm not getting this one. You know what I mean? But I think there is an LTR factor, and there's also buyout. It has something to do with your...
Well, buyout, that's dead cap. That's not deadline cap.
That's dead cap itself,
So dead cap is cap you retain, any kind of penalty, buyouts, all that. That's dead cap. So it's basically like cap that is going against your team to players that aren't on your roster.
Okay, I got that. Okay, well, anyway, we'll find out about that because I'm just saying, like, if you're going to win, Anaheim's got a young team. You say that they're going to be exciting and they want to take another step, and they got $20 million sitting around. That's a couple good players last time I checked. Not that there's anybody out there to get right away. Like, who are they going to get? You know what I mean? But that's
a deadline thing. Even then, I don't think they're going to go all the way to the cap.
No, I don't think they will either, but okay.
And then last but not least, I have the Calgary Flames. I think they're going to be the weakest team in the West.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they might, if I had to guess, I would say second last in the entire league.
They're a bit of a mess.
Questions in goal, thin D. Their forward group has plenty of holes.
Okay, so
I feel bad because I like Kadri, I like Backlund.
Oh, I like those guys too.
I like excuse me, oh my God, what's his name? He's injured now.
But look at their defense. Who are these guys? Wolf?
Yeah.
Isn't he a goalie? Dustin Wolf?
The goalies haven't seen. The other guys, their defense, I don't see nothing there. But they're another team.
I was going to say Mangiapane, but he's gone.
He's in Washington now.
So you know what? I always thought they had spent a lot of money, but they're another team with a lot of cap space. What are they going to do with it? They're just going to ride.
They know it's a rebuilding year.
So they're going to tank?
They're going to put it towards their new arena.
Okay, so okay, yeah, that's right. There you go. So Kadri's only got 2 years left on his contract. So is he a trade deadline possibility at $7 million or $6 million?
You still need warm bodies for next year, so I'm going to say no. I'm going to say next year he's going to be that guy.
Because he's got 2 years left, so you'll wait till the last year, right? What about Huberdeau? He just rocks.
No, actually, Kadri's got 4 years left.
Yeah,
does he really?
6 year, yeah.
I thought he signed a 7.
I thought he only had a couple of years left on it. Seems like he's been in Calgary forever.
No, but he went there after the Cup.
That's true.
He will be there
right.
forever by the looks of this.
And nobody will trade for that contract because that contract won't be worth it.
And, I mean, he's got does he have trade protection? Actually, I believe he does.
Yeah, definitely.
10 teams. I think it's one of those 10 teams deal.
That either way, that hurts your chances.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But that's enough about Calgary because all we'll be talking about all year is Steven is like, too bad Calgary.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Too bad. So sad.
Okay, so when you're only saying coaches that get fired, can we put him on the list?
No, because A, he's new, and B, I think everyone knows they're going to be crap.
So he'll get him to the next level.
They're going to suck. I'm going to save sucking for the Calgary Flames. How about that?
Okay, good. Yeah. We're good. So on to the next division.
Yes. So we move on to the Metro Division, by far the worst team or worst division name in the NHL.
100%.
I think it's going to be the New York Rangers division this year once again.
Ooh.
I have the Rangers winning the division. This is their last dance because I think next year Shesterkin's going to get a big new deal. We all know today he turned down the 8x11 deal. I think it's going to be something like 8x12 that he's going to sign for. Just an insane deal for a goalie, but that's neither here nor there. Lafreniere continues to improve and this team's hungry.
That's fair. But
so go ahead, Steven. But what are you saying?
Let's hear the but.
I got their rivals from across the Hudson River winning the division, the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, so you're going to jump on that bandwagon, are you?
I am.
I got them coming in second.
That's
New
fair,
York
yeah.
or New Jersey?
What? I got New Jersey coming in second.
So who do you have in first?
I got the Carolina Hurricanes coming in first. Okay?
That is the hot take of hot takes, sir.
Thank you very much. I've taken a very good look at what they're doing. They're good up front.
You're not worried about what they lost?
They replaced it. To me, I think they will be okay. And I say right now,
they got Jack Roslovich playing on their first line. I think that's
He could improve.
Yes,
and they're great.
He's their second line center.
And he can improve. He's not a liability.
Oh, so we're talking about potential now.
No, we're not talking about potential.
Yes, we are.
How far did they go last year?
Where'd they go?
The Rangers, 7 games. 7 games. So they had to bounce their way.
And they lost a bunch of guys.
Not that many, I would think. You know what I mean? I'm not.
I think their goaltending is still concerned with Anderson and Kochetkov.
Kochetkov's underrated.
I think he's that good.
Well, we're going to see if he gets to be playing more games. I think, what did he play last year? And he played about 20 games, 30 games. I think they're going to give him a 40-game load. I think that tandem's going to kind of work. They play great defensively.
He's been a mixed bag.
Okay, well, there's room for improvement. In what do you call it? Franchise inner whatever. Bottom line is, I think they play well enough defensively, and they're going to score. So they're going to be one of those teams that I'm talking about that'll be top 10 offense, top 10 defense.
Oh, yeah.
I think Sebastian Aho is going to suddenly, looking at his numbers, I think he's going to get votes for Selke.
I believe he's got them before, so that's not too much of a surprise. But like,
I think this is the year, because if they get up and they win the division, then your profile gets higher, and they're going to look at his defensive prowess a little bit more, and all of a sudden he's going to be one of those guys going to say, hey, why is he
going to play with, though?
I don't know about that.
Seth Jarvis is good, but like him and Roslovic on the top line, that's a little...
Yeah, but you know what? Like, they're another team with no real first line, but they got like 12 good skaters. Like,
Jordan Stahl, I think, is starting to fall off too, and he's going to be starting on their third line. I think that's a big concern.
Yeah, but a lot of times he'll be checking their number one center. And I'm good with that.
You think he's going to be able to keep up?
He'll do his things. He's got moxie, because I'm with you, Steven. Like, you think the Rangers are going to have a bit of a fall off too, eh?
Oh, I mean, I remember back to last year, because when I pulled up these predictions and changed them around, I had them missing the playoffs, the Rangers.
I know.
How wrong were you?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Maybe you should. I thought you'd learn. I thought you'd have the Rangers win the division this year. I thought you finally got it.
No, I mean, I got them in the playoffs. I'll say that.
Oh, I've got him in the playoffs too.
I'm assuming all of us have New York, New Jersey, Carolina as our top 3 in this division. Or
oh,
no?
yeah.
Okay, so I have New York 1. I got New Jersey 2, and I have Carolina 3. You have Carolina, New Jersey, and then New York is your number 3.
Yes.
And then I'm guessing, so you got New Jersey 1,
Carolina 2, and the Rangers 3.
What?
Yep.
You guys? Wow, I'm shocked.
Way to be, buddy. Way to be.
That's it, man.
We're giving Carolina their due, their props, right?
Yeah.
And Jersey,
I think they're gonna miss Brett Pesce more than they think they're gonna miss him.
We'll see.
Oh, that is going to be a big loss.
That's one of the best defensive defensemen in the league.
I got you. He stays with them.
Yeah, it's Sean Walker. He's a good guy. I get that, but he's no Brett Pesce.
No, I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just thinking that they've got enough. They've got a great balance, and they've got a couple of veterans that can keep the dressing room under control. They played tough last year. They went to a Game 7. You know what I mean? I like your Jersey pick too, because they fell off because of all the injuries. Yeah. I almost had them winning the division. Oh, wow, but when it came down to it, and I looked at it and I said, I think the back end is going to be a little bit better defensively, even though Jersey has beefed up their defense too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they've gotten tougher. And their front end is great, especially their top 6 forwards. You know what I mean? Those boys can fly.
Oh, yeah.
And if you've seen, it's a minuscule 1 centimeter, not worth talking about a handful of sand, but the way they handled Buffalo in those 2 games in Prague. Now, they went to Prague. There's all that other stuff, but you got to show up. And Jersey did.
I would take those first 2 games with a
grain of salt.
Yeah.
But they look good. Jack Hughes looked amazing. He should have scored 3-4 goals, and he didn't. You know, he was really good. So I'm saying, if your pick is, Steven, if you say Jersey's going to win the division, and they do, I'm not going to be one bit surprised. Yeah. And the big thing is, what did they get? What did they get?
A goalie.
Goaltending.
Not one, but 2.
Well, one was from
Serge,
last
I love
year.
you. This is good beer, buddy.
Thank you.
This is good beer.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyways, our proprietor's making sure that our whistles are wet because we're talking a lot. Do you know what I'm saying?
Even though I'm pretty sure this dehydrates us, but whatever.
Cheers,
boys.
guys. Yes, let get this open. Serge, didn't you bring one?
So for New Jersey, though, I think obviously they're much improved, but the only reason I put them number 2 is I think New York has a slightly better forward group. And New Jersey's going to have Luke Hughes away for a long time.
Okay, well, their defense looked pretty solid when I seen them. They're another they beefed up their defensemen. Every guy that went out there was a freaking tree. That Brandon guy they got from Winnipeg, that Dylan guy, that's huge.
That was a good pickup.
Damn good pickup. Not only that, though, when I was thinking about Jersey, too, is all the injuries they had last year.
Oh, yeah.
Combined it with the goaltending, Sheldon Keefe is now their new coach. add this all up. They've got
Great regular season coach.
That's all I didn't. That's all I said. I didn't go anywhere on that because we were going to bring up Toronto again already. No, okay, we'll get to
You
this.
keep bringing him up.
I just brought up Sheldon Keefe. What I just said.
I haven't said the T word once. You said it twice already.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Isn't that nice? In any event, I think Jersey's
I'm just saying.
Jersey's going to be the. I think they're going to be around when it gets to the playoffs. They're going to be a team to be there. So if I may continue, can I say who I think my fourth team is going to be in
do
it?
you have anything to say about New York? Because we kind of just skipped over them.
That's why I want to. I don't think they're tough enough. I like Adam Fox. And
Even
what's
with
his
Matt
name?
Rempe, the Empire State
Stop.
Building.
If the guy could skate better, I'd talk about it. You know what I mean? But when he learns not to run into the boards.
Yeah.
When when he learns, if he just doesn't, if he learns not to run into the boards, he could.
Better this year.
What?
Training hard on the speed.
He has to work hard. You got to learn how to stop. You can't use the boards. Come on.
It looks like me out there.
Yeah, me too. I said, I did one of those moves before, but I was on my ankles personally. You know what I mean? But
Also, I think that Lafreniere's growth is something to consider as well. I mean, I think that number one draft thing kind of hurt his case because we expect, McDavid, a Bedard, a Crosby, like guys like that. It's not always like that, and we know it.
it takes a few years to go. And I think he's a great player. I'm questioning him not getting there because I don't think they're tough enough. They got pushed around in the playoffs. They got away with a lot of guys.
We're not talking playoffs, though. We're talking regular season.
Regular season, I think the other teams have gotten tougher all around them. I think the Carolina's tougher. I think the Rangers are. Jersey's tougher. I think Carolina's tougher. And this is.
I don't think Carolina got tougher at all. I think they got weaker.
Oh, I don't know. I was looking at their lineup, and they got some size, and they move, and their goal differentials.
They didn't add any.
Well, you know what it is? It's back to we're doing preseason, so we'll see. Okay.
Also, the Rangers added Riley Smith, who I think is going to help their defensive game up front as well. Good two-way guy, can play penalty kill power play. He's going to fit in well in that second line with Zibanejad and Kreider. I think he's a good compliment for those guys who don't always, or who aren't always the best back checkers. Let's just say.
Okay, that's all right. I think that what's his name in goal?
Shesterkin?
Yeah. No, is it Shesterkin?
Yeah,
in New
him
York?
and Quicker back in net.
Yeah, that's a solid thing. That'll propel them to the playoffs alone. With a guy like Adam Fox and partner up there, that should be good enough. But I
don't love their defense. I'll concede that.
No, especially their third pair. Who are these guys?
Yeah, me and you. No, maybe not. But like
that's what I'm saying.
I like Adam Fox. I mean, he's obviously
he's all world.
I think Jacob Trouba gets way too much hate.
Yeah, no, I think he's good too. That's what I'm saying. And they got enough scoring. But I'm saying when the tough get tougher, they'll be in third place.
Okay. That is, can we call that a hot take? No, because we're going to say this is my hot take. Washington Capitals, fourth place. They're going back to the playoffs.
Oh, Steve, what do you got to say about that?
No.
They improved improved at every position.
With guys that journeyman.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Oh, guy you wanted to come to Montreal.
No, I'm done with him.
And then on D, they added Jacob Chychrun, they added Matt Roy, and they added, what's his name, Logan Thompson in net.
I like the Logan Thompson addition. The rest of those guys, have they proven enough on their other teams that they're going to be a difference maker when they get to Washington? I don't think so. They slipped in the back door because everyone else puked it up. Like Pittsburgh puked it up, Jersey puked it up. No, they're not going to do that this year. Okay. Washington, they're going to be, big thing is crying because Ovechkin's only got 3 goals after 30 games. Okay. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's what I think. They'll be celebrating.
I got the over-unders coming up.
Okay. Okay. We'll get to that later. No, Washington, don't you agree, Steven?
I actually agree with Andrew. I do think they did get better in every area, but
I have them as the number 8 seed.
What?
A number 8 seed.
You have a number 8 seed. No, I have them missing. I don't see him making it
as well.
Yep. No.
I think the Dubois factor is definitely something to consider, but Washington does have a history of taking these guys with kind of sketchy reputations and kind of rebuilding them. It's a good system in Washington. I think they're going to get them to smarten up.
Organizationally, I think you got a point there because a lot of guys are kind of journeymen, but as you've said before.
TJ Oshie kind of had that reputation when he got to Washington.
There you
His
go.
first year they win the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
I'm obviously not saying they're going to win the Cup this year, but
no,
I think that's the power of that organization.
You have a good point there, but I just don't think they have all around as a team. They're not that fast. You know what I mean? They're not great defensively.
I think your boy Rasmus Sandin's starting to get better.
Perhaps, maybe. No, I don't see. I'm not giving Washington. No, we won't be talking about that.
The Jacob Chychrun pickup, I think it's very underrated as well.
For Washington?
Yeah.
Is he enough, though?
Him and Matt Roy, all of a sudden their top 4D got beefier. Rasmus Sandin and Trevor Van Riemsdyk's their third pair.
Okay, and they got size. I'll give you that, but I just don't think. No, I'm not buying into
Sonny
the
Milano and Andrew Mangiapane up front. Connor McMichael, who I think is a nice developing talent, up in their top 6.
No.
Okay, I'm obviously not going to convince you guys.
No.
Number 5, I have the New York Islanders.
I have the New York
5 too.
I've got them at number 4, and I got them making the playoffs as the 8th seed. Okay, and you know what why?
You guys already got Buffalo in the playoffs.
We're doing the Atlantic last.
Yeah, okay, we're getting there. Okay. You know why? I'm gonna go there. First of all, they got Buddy and Net, who will get better. The Islanders also got some solid defense. They improved dramatically with Patrick Roy. Now he's going to have him for the whole season, and he's been one of the most competitive coaches when he was in Colorado.
I don't think they did enough in the offseason, though.
I don't know. I'm saying they look pretty solid. They can score.
Siplikov and Holmstrom are kind of Siplikov is they got him from Russia, and then Holmstrom's kind of already been in their system. He's a developing talent. He's interesting.
Yes.
I don't know if he's going to be enough to help this team kind of get to that next level, like get back to the playoffs.
He got 25 goals.
Did he?
I said he could score 25.
He could score
25 goals. Okay, if he gets the ice time,
maybe 20.
Okay, well, still, you need 20 goal scorers.
Agreed. I'm not saying that's a guaranteed.
I just think that Patrick Roy will put in a system. They'll be sounder defensively. Buddy will have a bounce-back season. He didn't have his best season last year. Sorokin? Yeah.
It looks like he's slated to start the season as the backup this year.
Who's that?
Sorokin.
No way.
Yeah.
Varlamov is
been killing it.
Number
He's been
1.
killing it, yeah.
And Patrick Roy has a history with him as well, going back to Colorado. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Varlamov.
Oh, no, Varlamov's his boy. But you know what? I heard there's a little bit of where's Sorokin from again? Russian?
Yeah, it's Russian. Both their goalies are Russian.
Okay, but anyways, for some reason, Patrick and Sorokin don't seem to be on the same page. You hear that a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's his style, whatever.
What's that?
Isaiah George, did he make the team or did he get sent down to the minors?
He's not listed on their lineup.
No, he didn't make it. He went because of one of those waiver things. He went down so they could protect another guy. One of those deals. But he'll be up soon. I think he'll play. I think he'll. Yeah, but he didn't go there. He went back to whatever their AHL affiliate is. Okay, yeah. So I think he'll get the time. He'll get up.
Do you have Washington? Or sorry, do you have the Islanders in the playoffs?
I have them in 5th, no playoffs though.
Okay. Also, Pierre Engvall got put on waivers.
Yeah.
What's that?
Pierre Engvall on waivers.
Well, that's another guy that Patrick doesn't like.
I can hear the guy Dugas. He's yelling from Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, he'll be back.
Another Leaf got on waivers.
Oh, I know. That doesn't
Justin
look good.
Hall.
Yeah, Justin Hall,
yeah.
another guy. But they were contract situations too. But Engel is not
Well,
like.
I've said it before. You don't pay your
Engvall is
third line guys like long term. I think that's a bad mistake.
I don't know what Lou was doing when he gave him that contract.
Well, he looked good for 10 minutes.
Engvall's
Okay.
a guy that's so confusing because he's
has
got
the-
the body, he's got the
Yeah.
skating, he's got
Yes.
he seemingly has all the tools, but like putting it together seems to be the issue with him.
Someone
way.
will pick him up, don't you think?
I think he's already cleared. It's because his contract's going to scare guys off.
yeah,
It's
that's-
long term, right?
Yeah. Yes,
he's got
that's
like
true.
5 years left on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Is
go.
that what it is? Oh, he'll get another shot though.
He will
He'll
eventually.
get another shot. But I just know
Probably
there's-
with the Islanders. They're probably going to call him up soon.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd
there's certain
imagine.
guys like Patrick does have that reputation. You know that, Serge. If he doesn't like guys, or you don't play his. What's that?
Yeah, injuries are
Oh
going to
yeah,
happen.
agreed. But you know Patrick, and he was like that when he was in Colorado. If he didn't like the way you played, or you didn't play the way to his standard, he didn't care who you were, which I think is good on coaching. You're not going to cater to any guy. If you're not the guy, go sit down. So I think that's a good look at the organization to say, hey, you know what I mean? Don't you think, Steven?
Yeah, like they'll make him like earn his
You
spot
got
in the
it.
lineup.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Patrick Roy came in late. And
Made him accountable.
He's gonna be his room. Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know what, the number one word it should be on every hockey team should be accountability.
Oh, for sure.
Number one thing
agreed.
should be, but I mean, he seems to be one that yells at more. Talkett's one that yells at more. You know, certain coaches say it. Other coaches say they're doing it, but these guys come to the press table and tell you they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next up, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm just wondering how long it is before this house of cards collapses.
Dun, 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 dun. I feel sorry for Sid, man. Oh, yeah. No, I feel sorry for Sid. I don't know what's going to go on in Pittsburgh. Like, they could backdoor their way in. They were close last year. He could lead them. Like, they're not a completely junk team, but I don't think that they're tough enough. I think their back end is questionable. Their age factor is there. I don't think they developed enough young guys quick enough.
Like it feels like we're going back to like 15 years ago when we were like, oh man, like can we get Sid better line mates? Like he's playing with Drew O'Connor and Anthony Beauvillier, and you're like, this is the best we can do.
Oh gee, that's what I'm saying. And Sid's not going anywhere. Like he's made that known. I'm not going anywhere. So it's going to be a drag if we have to see one of the greatest players to ever play the game skate around like it's a compulsories for the rest of his freaking career.
Yeah, I mean, like what they did, it's just like window dressing, right? Yeah, you have this ugly broken window, and you just put some like nice curtains there.
That's all you got to do. But if he does ever go to another team, there's only one team he would want to go to, right, Serge? That's everybody knows that.
The Colorado Avalanche, yes.
Stop it! Stop it! He would go there. I guess he would because of McKinnon, but McKinnon has the same desire as kids. The team that they would want to play for the most.
But I mean, since signing that contract, he's going to be a Penguin for life.
Oh, yeah, it's a gimme. Yeah. That's the way it is.
Sorry,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they have this Jackson Ivany kid on defense. I mean, oh my God, their number one defense pair is Letang and Matt Grizzlick, a guy just shat on earlier.
They're a little bit
What about their goaltending?
Same thing.
Yeah. What? Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
I tried that.
There you go. It just didn't work out the way you thought it would. Anyway.
Jari's a guy like he's not horrible, but like what his glove hand is it? Like like there you go.
He's not gonna win a cup.
No.
Everyone on that team is gonna make him better.
Oh, that's agreed. But how far can you take a bunch of freaking plumbers? That's what I said. He'll probably play some meaningful games in March. If Letang plays a little bit better,
by a lot more than that.
And they got a couple forwards, and their defense is of size. I don't think they move that well. The rest of the guys, like you said.
Check the standings.
But what do you think? You don't think Pittsburgh's making it either?
No, I don't. I got them second last in the division.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Goodbye, Pittsburgh. We used to like you a lot, but not anymore.
There's actually one team that I have making the playoffs in the East that you guys haven't even mentioned yet.
Whoa!
Hold on. So I want to look into Pittsburgh.
No.
They missed the playoffs. Okay, it was closer than I thought. They missed by 3 points.
Yeah, they were there, and they blew the game against Chicago.
But they're the number 10 team, though.
Yeah.
Detroit still finished higher than them. So,
but
I don't think they got any better. So
that's the problem. Yeah. And they were right there. If they had won those 2 games at the end, they would have made the playoffs. And they choked both of them up.
It was like Chicago and Columbus.
Something like that. Chicago and Columbus. They blew 2 games. Those 4 points would have put them over the top, and they would have been in the playoffs. They would have knocked out Washington.
Exactly.
But
they would have got swept by the Rangers.
And they would.
So after them, I have the Philadelphia Flyers. Only thing there to be excited about is Michkov, I think.
I'm going to be honest, I have them as a wild card team.
What?
I have them as the second wild card, yeah.
Wow.
Why? Come on, give me, I want to hear this. This should be a good reason. I looked at Philadelphia and I said, glad I don't have to look at these guys anymore.
I think it was just like looking at the way they were last year and seeing, I think they had like a solid end to the season.
I love Torts. I love Torts.
Torts, yeah.
But I mean, I think their goaltending.
Yes, is sketchy. Their defense is sketchy.
In Ivan Fedotov, he's like 6'6".
So what? If he could go side to side, I'd be happy with that. Okay, he's like one of those goalies on the old table hockey games when you go like that with him. He's that guy. You know what I mean? No.
Rookie this year made the team.
Goalie?
No, Michkov.
Oh, Michkov. No, he's good.
No.
He's
Luchenko.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He played with my nephew over in Guelph. That guy is a workaholic. And think about this. For Torts, as a 18-year-old, he's the youngest flyer in history.
No, he showed up in camp.
Came, played, made the team.
Oh, he's an outside chance as a rookie of the year candidate if he plays the minutes.
He's playing, man.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's late to start on the third line.
Yeah, but I mean, what the deal is going to be is we're going to have to wait and see. Like, give them 20 games and see what's going to happen. I just don't think they have enough around there. I mean, Torts is going to make them competitive, and he's going to have a lot of good press conferences again discussing why his team.
They're not going to be getting blown out night by night.
So they have this new meter. So how many? Did you hear about this new meter? They showed up, and this is why I hate analytix.
The top line is Michkov, Couturier, Konechny, that's a good first line.
Solid line, yeah.
The rest of the forward group
are three third liners. Yeah, and 2 third lines and a fourth line.
Yeah.
That's all they got left. But anyways, I heard this thing after the Jersey game, and I don't know if it's American, but it all boils down to analytics. And when I heard this, and Andrew, I think you're going to get a kick out of this. It's called the deserve to win meter.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
What up with that?
I think that's goofy. Especially you see it on Twitter, like Leafs and Oilers fans will like post it, or
Oh
like
my God,
not
yeah.
actually. It's all fans that start to do this now. Where like their team will like lose the game that they should have won, and then they'll post it like, no, look, blah, blah, blah. It's like
The
buddy,
first time
like-
I seen this, it came up and I watched the game, and it had Buffalo deserved to win. 75% said Buffalo should have won and Jersey didn't. I seen the game. Buffalo did. They had pylons skating around the circles.
Yeah.
That tag touchline, they looked like they were going slow. You know what I mean? And then they got a bunch of shots that were 9 irons from the fairway. You know those ones that they chip in and it hits the goalie? Oh, shot on goal. I don't see shot attempt coming up so much this year, which is great.
get ready though.
Oh, it's going to make me crazy. But this is when I said analytics has gone way too far. When you go, you know what do you think of that? Deserve to, whatever was it called?
Yeah, the deserve to win meter.
Yeah, the deserve to win-o-meter. I just
Yeah,
said now things have gone too far. I'm an old man.
No, even I don't like that one.
I just went, because what happened was, I think it was Jason Strutt, he said, do this. Check the teams that are going to freaking get on the computer and bang onto that so they'll make their team look better than it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'll have something to talk about, which is good because it's fodder for things like we do this, but it has to rate as one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard brought up in hockey, more than shot attempt.
Right.
And but the thing I thought about funny is that, like, where do you grade when the goalie makes 51 saves and he loses 2-1? Okay, then that's the only small 1 grain of sand reasonability I would give into anything this insane.
Right.
So let's just wipe it off the table and not
Right.
even use it. You know?
Back to the Flyers though. They also got Jamie Drysdale, his first season
Yep.
there. I think he's
First
going to be
full
given a good.
season, yeah.
Great player, Marley kid next door.
There you go.
So you're saying all of this is going to add up to a Philadelphia Flyer?
He's going to be the difference.
I like him. I like him.
Drysdale will be the difference.
We got one guy at the table here saying that he's going to make the playoffs. I want to put a big circle around that. Philadelphia Flyers. Stephen Milani says
Owen
to
Tippett.
go, and you're that confident in him, man.
I am, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know, just
I
something
dismiss-
about them. I just think Torts is going to get them motivated, and they're going to want to work harder.
Oh, I agree with that. They're going to be competitive every night. Like, you know, and you know what? He's brought some toughness to the team. Like, look at their lineup. They got a few boys that
yeah.
they're not going to let anybody push them around or anything like that.
Do they still have Garnet Hathaway?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
fourth
they
line.
do. Yeah, you know what I mean. They got one big defenseman up too, but he only plays like third line minutes.
Yeah.
Another big freaking boy. But no, I don't see Philadelphia getting in.
And then
Your way.
last, unfortunately, is the Columbus Blue Jackets. I have them as the worst team in the league.
Me too.
I mean, I feel bad even just saying that, obviously, because of circumstances. But
yes.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
Elvis Merzlikins, there was like so much hype around this kid coming into the league. I've never really seen
He
it from
hasn't
him.
got her attention.
No, he really hasn't. I like Fantilli. I think he's very promising. I like Monahan that they added him.
Fantilli, what's his contract situation?
He's on his rookie deal, second year of a 3-year deal.
Okay. Because I always smelled like, no, they wouldn't give him up. There's a couple guys in Columbus that might
No,
become.
Fantilli's not going to be.
No,
on
but
the
not
move.
when. But he's the guy from Michigan, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be around. There's a couple guys on Columbus, though. I can't remember when I looked at Puckpedia. I went, if they have a season, they might move on. They might be trade deadline bait.
Like the defensemen that they have there?
I think maybe it is.
Because they have like Provorov, Severson, Jack Johnson, Goodbranson. Those are guys you could sell.
That's what I'm figuring.
I don't think they're going to sell Werenski.
too young.
Yeah, exactly.
He's too young.
He's like 27, 28.
Yeah. No, they're not that. I think it's a defense score I was looking at, and a lot of those are expiring contracts. 2 or 3 of them are expiring contracts, which is the formula for getting rid of the guy at the trade deadline.
Basically. So I guess we can move on to the Atlantic Division, the big, not finale here, but the one we've all been waiting for, obviously.
Can I have the Toronto Maple Leaf report? I'm allowed. Do you know that I have a Toronto Maple Leaf report?
Colorado.
Yeah, we talked about Colorado.
They got a guy, Cam Ritchie.
Cam Ritchie?
He made the team.
Callum
Ritchie.
Ritchie, yeah. Former general.
Generals.
Okay.
He made the third line.
Okay, so Atlantic Division, I have Boston winning. It's not about what teams we like. It's
I'm
about,
not saying like we had. My hot take was they would struggle to make the playoffs, and I'm not backing down from that. I just think that they were up too high. They don't have enough up the middle. I'll take their
They
back
added
end.
a good center this year, though.
What's
Elias Pettersson. Or Elias Lindholm.
Okay, he seems to be okay. Let's
He's
see when the
very
system.
good. He was very good in Calgary.
Okay, we're going to see how it's going to go. I see them falling back. I think
they
have enough
overpaid
score.
for that talent, but I still think they're still a better team. Yes,
They do. The weird opening ever. What
Florida.
happened to the NHL with their opening day? Why didn't they do something like the other leagues? Why didn't they have a great extravaganza? Like I thought the best idea I heard was, why didn't Florida? Who are they playing?
Boston.
Florida and Boston. That should have been the only game tonight.
Yeah.
At home for the Florida, run up the flag. Whole league is looking at it. The schedule tomorrow night is 100 times better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100 times.
Montreal, Boston.
Yeah, well, screw them. Screw them. Anyways, I'm gonna swear by this. First of all, I think they're getting older. I don't think they have enough scoring. I don't think they have a guy like. I think Marchand's over the hill a bit. When he comes back,
I think they have more scoring than you think, Cruz.
I don't know.
Zaka, Lindholm, Pasternak, that's a first line. And
Okay.
then you got Marchand, Cole, Geeky, second line.
If
Max
he
Jones,
plays.
Frederick, and Justin
Is Marchand
Brezzo, third
starting
line.
this season? No.
Yeah, he is.
He is playing?
Yeah.
Wow. We'll see what happens.
Their only injury is Patois.
Okay, and I'm going to put it this way, too. Swayman hasn't been in camp.
Fair, yeah.
Okay, so what's going to happen is he hasn't had any...
I mean, he's definitely still been training, and you got to think he's
Yeah,
been
but
on the ice.
me and you've been shooting at him. He's been playing in some
He'll be
high
warmed
school
up in a
park.
couple
I think
weeks. I don't think that's a
Yeah,
concern.
and then he's gotta
And
play
also,
60
Boston
games.
doesn't play a back-to-back until like game 11 or 12. So it's not going to be
I
a
heard that.
concern for them.
We will see. I think that
They can play Corpusalo for like the first few games, kind of get Swayman warmed up, and then we won't even be talking about this anymore.
We'll see.
I think Swayman, he's a top 5 goalie in the league.
I'm not saying he's not, but he's never played 60 games. He's never played more
I
than
think he'll be
40.
fine.
Never played more than 40 in his career.
You guys heard today the Ranger guy, they offered him an extension. He refused like 80.
8 by 11, yeah.
Wow, that's insane. Cool.
He's going to have to sell for 12, I think.
If the salary cap might help it out, we're going to wait and see because at the
So
end of the show,
ridiculous money for a goalie by our standards. but-
Exactly. Exactly. Anyways,
No,
I'm
back to Boston, though. Like Hampus Lindholm, Charlie McAvoy, Mason Lohrei, who I think is a really nice developing talent. Brandon Carlo, Zadorov. Come on. That's a defense right there.
there's a lot of potential.
What potential? These guys are established.
These guys, no. Okay, then we'll go on that. Okay, we'll let you.
Do you have Boston in the playoffs?
Yes, I do.
As a top 3 in the Atlantic?
No.
Wild card.
Yeah.
Okay. Steven?
I have him third in the Atlantic.
Wow.
I
think you guys
almost
are-
had him at third, but I said no.
You guys are vastly underrating them. I think the only question is about Marchand if he falls off, but I think he's still going to be fine.
We'll see.
My number 2 team is Florida.
Yep.
The only thing that's keeping them from number 1 for me is their losses on defense. I think that's going to take a little bit to figure out.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they will get there. I think they will figure it out.
I took a look at that too, and there's a bunch of things about Florida that I'm going to say. First of all, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somehow they got to get over the Stanley Cup freaking hangover, which a lot of teams seem to suffer. They played more games than anybody else in the last 2 years. They lost 2 key defensemen. That's really going to make them go. How deep is their scoring? I don't think Sam Ranhart's going to score that much again. He's going to probably have a step back.
I agree.
Verhaeghe is a guy that has to stay exactly where he is, if not get a little bit better.
I think he will because he doesn't play defense. So
Okay. But they got the other guys too that like after that they got like Nikolov and Kikliov or whatever. That's the top 4. Can't knock their defense, like because those guys played good minutes, so they got more experience.
yeah, I
the guy
think it's just a
behind
matter
that.
of like finding out the roles and like who's playing what minutes.
But I still say,
because
but
Forsling is, I think, who you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's unreal, fitness freak.
yes, yeah.
The real biggest huge find for that team. I think he was a waiver pickup.
was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got him down here because I said that's going to improve the facts. But they lost Montour, and he was a guy that
And
power
Ekman Larson.
and Ekman, and those guys are power play guys too. They move the puck
Yeah.
around. So who's going to be the number 1 defense for their power play now? Montour
I
was
think
huge,
right now it's going to be Adam Boquist, which I think could be a nice little pickup for them.
possibly.
He was a high first round pick a few years ago. Let's not forget.
Yeah, he was in the first round, top 10.
Yeah,
Top
exactly.
10 guy. But like we were already saying, how much Montour as a player was because we both got Seattle making the playoffs due to the fact that they had a guy like him. How do you replace him?
But, I mean, you look at the rest of that number one power play, though, for Florida. I don't think they're going to be struggling.
I'm not going to say they're struggling, but I'm going to say like a guy like that logging that much ice time with that much possession of the puck, who on that team is going to be that good to do it?
I think it's a bigger 5-on-5 issue than it is a power play issue for them, though.
Probably. So that's what I'm saying. When you add in all those factors, you got to make sure that Bobrovsky doesn't been on the vodka, stuff like that.
But he's been good the last few years.
I can't say no.
And Spencer Knight's looks like he's gonna be playing the full year this year.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
A step
I'm
up.
not saying that Florida's falling off the cliff. I just don't see them. I got them coming in second in the division.
Yeah, they're just taking a step back.
Just a step back, and they're probably going to be in the semifinals. Like they might get the top. But I'm saying history.
So you have Florida number 2.
Yeah.
We both you as well.
I have them 2 as well.
Oh no, I'm afraid who you're going to say is number 1.
Then you're going to have to live with that. I've been a dog walker lately. You know whose dogs I walk, Serge? Trying to watch Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews watching their dog when they go to town.
So I have the Leafs as the number 3 team in the division.
Oh, okay. Now we got issues. Like, you know what? I got to defend the Leafs here. The Leafs are winning the division.
That's right.
The Leafs
I
are
got them at number 1.
I got
You
them.
guys said that last year too. How'd that go?
Okay, no. Let's talk about it.
Craig Berube now.
Craig Berube, they beefed up their defense, and that front scoring is as good as anybody in the league. They scored 300 goals last year. All they have to do is tighten up the back end. I think the cleverest thing that Toronto did is get this other goalie.
Yeah.
Stolarz?
Yeah, that was a good steal from Florida.
I think that was a good pickup too.
Yeah, well, that's another thing that made Florida weaker because they had a bit of a tandem goaltending thing going on here. Now,
but they got Spencer Knight though.
We'll see.
I think he's gonna be good.
I think he should be solid. Yeah, his prospect guy.
He just needs to play like 20-25 games.
That's what you got to hope for. But in any event, I think Toronto's goaltending got stronger than it did from the start of last season.
Yeah, but I mean, Wall and Stolarz, I'm a little uncomfortable going to the season with those two.
Are you?
Yeah.
I thought he'd be better.
Given Wall's injury concerns, and Stolarz never been a number 1 before.
No, but Swayman was never a number 1 a few years ago when they had all
Okay, but
marks.
we've seen the steady increasing. The steady but with these two, it's like a hope and a prayer that we have.
No, how old are they? Both of them under 25 or 25, 26?
Even more reasons to be nervous.
No, because they're going into their primes. And you got Tanev, you added. What's his name from the Florida, Erickson or whatever his name is?
Ekman-Larsson.
And here's the guy that's going to be that I pumped his tires last year, and he's going to get a full-time thing, and he's a Berube guy, is Benoit. You watch. He'll be your top 4 defenseman this year. I pumped his tires last year, and I thought they didn't use him properly to the end because he wasn't a Sheldon Keefe guy for something. He's tougher than they say he is. He moves the puck well.
He really worked on his defensive game.
Oh, yeah.
That was something that really impressed me because he was kind of more...
Got himself out of position, puck-moving guy.
Yeah, on the way coming up to the league, he was a puck-moving guy,
and he's got a good shot. I think his points total are going to go up.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I think they're going to go up.
I wouldn't be so sure because I don't think he's going to be playing that many more minutes.
Well, who's going to be playing in front of him?
He's on the 3rd pairing right now with Connor Timmins.
I say that he'll be coming up to the 2nd pairing because
you think he's going to replace Ekman-Larsson?
No, I think he'll replace McCabe, but they both shoot the same way, don't they?
Yeah, that's what
the only
McCabe's
problem.
a lefty that can play the right, so I think they're going to leave him there.
Then they'll put McCabe will be your 3rd-line defenseman by the end of the season.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, McCabe's all over the place. I tried to like the guy since you got him. Then I gave him a whole season last year, and he didn't.
I like McCabe.
I think he's solid, but I don't think he's like.
I think he's a good number 4.
Okay, but I think Benoit's a better number 4, and it'll prove its way out during the season. That's all I'm looking at.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Toronto Maple Leafs to win the division. I can't wait to see words. Win the division.
I just think with the new coach coming in, he's going to teach them this new play style that they never knew they had in them.
Thank you.
No, I'm serious.
He's going to magically turn them into different players?
No.
Well, the thing is with Berube, I think now he's got full, Sheldon Keefe didn't really have, I don't think, as much power with the lineup, so to speak.
Full autonomy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I don't buy that.
I think
he's the coach.
Yeah, but I still think management above him had a bit of a say of who's in tonight.
I don't think Berube's got that different of a say.
He wouldn't take the job. He wouldn't take the job. Sheldon Keefe come under different circumstances with Dubois. They were a team. Everybody talked about shit they did. And Berube came in.
But let's not forget, Keefe wasn't dealing with Dubas last year. He was dealing with
with
tree living, and that's the reason why he's not here this year.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, but I don't think I think Keefe did have autonomy though.
Probably,
Yeah,
but
I think he had too much. I think that was
maybe
the
that's the
issue.
thing. He probably did a terrible job with it. But I'm just saying, I think with
I like
Berube,
your thinking.
If you don't have a good game, he's not afraid to take you out the next game and put someone else in your place.
Fine.
And he's not going to have those double talk Sheldon Keefe things where he comes out of the press conference one day and says, I'm going to be kicking some ass. And the next day goes, we went for a beer.
That's just media bullshit. Like, who cares
No, but that tells you
on the ice.
That tells you something about what goes on in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephen, don't you agree with me?
Oh, yeah.
Something's going on in the dressing room when you're going like that. If the coach says one thing here and it says the other thing over there, something that's going on. Ask Robert Saleh. Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying the Leafs have never even, besides the Canadian division here, the Leafs have not even sniffed a division title. They didn't do enough to get better than Boston or Florida. I think it's absolutely asinine to say that they're going to win the division this year.
Okay, if they get a better start than usual, that's number one. Because points in October are just as good as points in March. They got to remember that. So they got to get out of the box earlier. I think Berube's going to make sure that they get out of the box that earlier. I think they've done just enough as any other team to get better. They were, overtime away from moving on last year. Mitch Marner's going to get his contract by Christmas.
Yep.
The team has gotten better. I think they're going to have to figure out a little bit to do with the lines. Like what they're going on, and stop talking about Nylander being a center and whatever's going on.
Right, he's back to right wing.
Well, that is the way it's going to be.
Holmberg's the third line center, which I thought was very interesting.
I think that's the most interesting thing,
too. I liked Holmberg, so it's not a slight against him, but I was just like, I didn't think he'd be a Berube guy.
Because I thought that he'd have to show a little bit more toughness, but maybe that he's shown. But your key guy here is a guy that, besides Simon Benoit, the guy who I've been screaming for all the time is your Robertson boy.
I thought you were going to say Max Pacioretty.
I've been there too.
Stop it. Stop
Trust
it.
me, Robertson,
I screamed all last year.
It looks like he's going to make the opening night lineup.
Oh, if he doesn't, come on. Well, did you hear Trey Living was on Overdrive or something recently, and they asked about who's going to make the team, and he goes, it's pretty hard to send a guy down when he scores 5 goals.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's hard.
You know what I mean? So, but what was some of the competition? Whatever. Fact is, the guy got on the ice and scores 5 goals. Look at his metrics from last year.
And he's going to start on the second power play. And
he's going to be on the second power play. Now, how long is it till he moves up to the second line? I say he'll be a second line.
He's going to have to earn it.
Oh, he's going to earn it. He's going to, what the best thing about the guy is, when you heard it, with all the bullshit that went on with the guy about contract, asking to leave, he wasn't going to get in the time, something professional went on in here. He went into the office, he sat down with Berube and said, hey, what's going on? He said, hey, kid, go do this. Kid went out in the ice, and what did he do? No attitude, no crying to the press, no moaning, no bitching. He just went out in the ice and said, I want this job, and he got it. So I'm saying, give him some time. Now, the question about him is, a little bit of defensive liability, but he was killing penalties in the preseason. Mm-hmm. He's got a little bit of a size issue, but he's stocky. He can shoot and he can skate. So I don't think that his size is going to affect him as some of the other smaller guys.
I don't think he's going to get that much penalty kill time in the regular season, though.
I don't think he will either, because that's Marner's ticket. They got awesome.
And Nylander's.
And Nylander, too.
Nylander and Matthews, excuse me.
But the fact that you can use him there, or they're experimenting to use him, that just tells you about his skill level with his stick and his skating. I think him and Benoit are going to be two of your guys' most improved players on your team. Okay. From internally, you know what I mean? Which is going to put you guys over the top.
So a couple
Not that I want to.
A couple questions I want to ask is, how big of an impact is Tanev going to have on this lineup?
Huge. Toughness for starters, right off the top.
The best defensive partner that Riley's ever had.
Agreed.
There you go. Okay, how many times have the Leafs had a guy that clears out in front of the net?
I'm worried about his injury history, though.
Well, that's. No, he's usually good to miss 10, 15 games a year. That's his pattern.
As long as they're not in April or May, I'm okay with it.
And as long as you stack points early so you can rest the guy too. Load management, yeah. I don't mind. No, a guy like that, I can see it because he's a guy that's put a lot of miles on in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to remember that. So they got to be wise on how they use them. What I'm saying about the Leafs that really surprised me. Go ahead.
That kid is so underrated.
Who?
And not because whatever he's a Macedonian kid. I've seen this kid train, and when he was a kid, he was on the same team on the Junior Canadians with Stamkos.
Yes.
And PK Subban.
Yes.
He
Yes.
was like one of the,
No, yeah, I heard that. No, I heard he brings all the table, but you got a good point. First of all, like his injury, you got to hope for the best there. But Stephen, when you go home and you talk to your mom, you tell her how her oldest son talked down about the Leafs during the show.
I didn't talk down about the Leafs.
I think the borderline. Oh, yeah. So what? We all have them in the playoffs. Come on, stop it. You know what I mean? But don't you think there's a little bit? Tell Mama.
I'm just saying there's a lot of questions still yet to be answered.
Tell Mama I'm on her side. She's made me a little bit more of a Leaf fan. I don't know what she's done with her son. I'm glad you're here today.
Is that why you said fuck the Leafs in that video you sent me?
I didn't mean it like that. I absolutely regret doing that at that time because I was really trying to be nice in the video. I did. I just slipped. There's gummies involved. You know what I mean?
Oh, excuses.
You know what I mean?
One last question I have for the Leafs is how long is it before McMahon and Liljegren earn their spots back?
Liljegren a while. You know what I mean?
Or until Timmins stubs his toe.
Or Timmins. I think that he's the guy that'll be the first one that they look at. I think the other guys are going to play well enough that you're not going to move him. And Tatum's going nowhere. Riley's going nowhere. McCabe's going nowhere. You know what I mean? Liljegren is the big... They gave him the contract.
I know.
Yeah.
They gave him the money. He's not a Berube guy. Look at the teams that Berube bid and the defenseman that he's had. Look at the Stanley Cup years in St. Louis. He is not a Berube defenseman. I think he's going to be the first guy traded if someone wants to pick him up.
I was going to say that too. I think that's a good possibility.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Send him to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Didn't Dubras give him the contract?
No, I think it was Treliving.
Oh yeah, Treliving. Yeah, so that's his first mistake.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or lose him.
Yeah, there was an issue, and you know what?
I think that's like the Masai Ujiri school of like hang on to him and then trade him later, right?
That's true too. And the thing about it is that he looked promising at times because remember last year for a stretch he played with Benoit.
Yeah,
and they were a good pair. And they were the best looking pair. Remember about mid-season I was calling them the best looking pair on the Leafs. But
even though they were the third pair, but whatever.
They were playing the best hockey at the time. You couldn't deny it. The bottom line is I don't know what happened to the guy's skills. It's like the angle thing in Islanders. Like some guys have the skill, and all of a sudden you see them. They got money. They're paying these guys. You know what I mean? And now he's going to be in the press box. I think that Berube's going to be the type of guy that he's going to give the guy a chance.
Oh, of course he will.
You know what I mean?
I think the McMahon one is way more surprising that he wasn't able to make the opening night lineup.
Why? Because of his toughness? Because he's the tough guy?
Like down the stretch, he showed that he had the scoring touch, right? Like he was like the minute they put him on the third line, he started scoring immediately. You're like, whoa, like where'd this come from?
No, I agreed. And I thought he was a bit of a banger. Like he's more of a Berube player than...
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Lindgren, don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we're gonna stay on the good side of Leafs, Stephen. You and I, we're gonna stay on the good side of Leafs. We see positive things coming for the city. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know all the what would you say? If the bars get filled, Serge will be back in business. He'll have to be pushing people out the door because a Leaf mania will be just driving the city insane. Personally, I'll be staying in my basement because I won't be able to stand going out in the street and have to witness this kind of bullshit. But besides that, you know, it's good for the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's it for the Leafs.
No, we ain't done.
I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
he's done.
I'm leafed out.
I'm never leafed out. I'm in Toronto. The question is going to be, can the press stay away enough not to bother the team?
I'm not even going to answer that. Now that's time to move on.
Man, it's true. The pressure of this city is what kills this team. You guys know it. So I'm just hoping, can we have a back off, let them play, everyone shut up? It's not going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen, but... I'm can I well, we got to wait till we say about the trophy winners. So
yeah, okay. So we'll save it for then.
Thank you.
So I think I know who your number 3 team is, and they're my first wild card team in the Atlantic, the Detroit Red Wings.
Wow.
Okay.
I have them making the playoffs. I'm very excited about this Edvinsson guy that they got coming up.
Oh, I like him too.
I think the question about him is, can he be a top pair guy?
Can he be tough enough?
He's got the size.
Oh, he's got a lot of guys have size. I want to see him use
6'6"
it.
though?
Yeah. I want to see him use it. You know what? No, I have Detroit. I'm not, you know what I mean?
They're not your 3 seed?
No. They're not.
Oh, no. I think I know who your 3 seed is.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
it's
no.
coming, man.
No.
It's coming. I'm sorry. It's coming.
Do you have Detroit in the playoffs?
I have them just missing out.
You guys
Me
suck.
too. And I love them.
Just
Missing out.
It's tough.
You know what? There's something missing on the team, and I don't know what it was.
Goaltending?
For me, it's the goaltending.
Okay, yeah.
But they got to ditch Ville Husso. He's not good.
Okay. But I mean,
895 save percentage guy. Like, I don't know why. Oh, I know why they keep him around because the contract.
what?
Talbot,
I like the
Actually,
front
Talbot's
end.
slated to start game 1.
I like
to this.
Detroit's top 6. Like their top 6 forwards, they're gonna make the team competitive all the time.
Oh, yeah,
and I think they got a couple of good defensemen that are going to be
I
there.
like their entire forward group.
Well, probably their whole group, yeah. But they skate well. They're good skating.
I think their
back
defense
then.
group is solid too.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
I like them up front. I just don't like their goaltending that much.
And I don't like some of the
The
defensemen.
minute they give Husso the stiff arm, the Heisman, whatever you want to call
Who's
it,
their third? Because
Talbot and Lyon.
Yeah.
I think they got to ride those two. That's my
Lion
take.
might rise up this year. He's got
Like he did
potential.
last year.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So he might
And
get
then
more
the year
time.
before.
Yeah, but eventually he's got to come through the door. So it's going to be there. I want Detroit
Well, once they
to be
started
there.
playing him too many games last year was when we started to see
that's
them.
yeah, but
I mean that's because they didn't have what were you going to play Husso or James Reimer? Come on.
Okay,
I
but-
think Talbot's a much more solid choice.
Oh, I agree. That's no doubt about it. I'm just saying, but the kid, that's what about goaltenders? You got to learn to be able to play 40 games in the league if you want to be a number one. If you can't play 40
Well,
games.
they're carrying 3, so they could play him 27, 27.
That's why Detroit's not going to make the playoffs. Right there.
Well,
you know,
I'm
I
saying
hope
the minute
they do.
shed Husso, I think they're fine. They just got figured that out early, and they got rid of Justin Hall, which is never a bad thing.
Okay.
yeah, that helps.
Okay. I'm not saying that. I want Detroit to win.
Is that a hot
look at
take
my
that I
coach.
got Detroit in the playoffs? Am I being too optimistic?
No,
do you think?
I have some. I've heard some pundits say they're going to do even better. Some people say they're going to be top 3 in the division or whatever.
I think that's a
Of course.
reach, but
I do too. I don't think they have not enough experience. You know what I mean? All the way around. And they staggered their way home last year.
yeah.
Staggered, you know what I mean? So that's the thing that scared me. Because remember when we were at Christmas time and New Year's, All-Star break, they were one of the darlings of the league. Mm-hmm. Remember that?
Indeed, they were.
They were one of the darlings of the league. And then something happened. I don't know. Other teams caught up to them because you're not a surprise anymore.
No.
You know, that's one of the reasons I think Vancouver's in trouble. Because they snuck up on everybody and were a front runner last year. You know
They
what I
made
mean?
improvements.
I hope they have. But anyway, let's get back to Detroit. Detroit, everyone knows what they're going to get. Last year, maybe people took them for granted a little bit early, and they bushwhacked a few teams.
Yep.
That ain't happening this year.
No.
You know what I mean? I hope they're better, but I don't see it is. So what, you want me to tell you who my number 3 team is?
I know who it is. It's Tampa Bay, isn't it?
You're damn right it is. And I looked at their lineup and I go, no. Mr. Milani, no. And they've even cleaned up some of their salary cap issues.
Yeah.
If you look on Puckpedia, they've done some, compared to this time last year, whoa.
Yeah, but it cost them some talent, though, don't you think?
They got a couple young kids in their lineup that are down the lineup.
Again, potential.
I'm not saying potential. They've already played a little bit. They're going to get more time this year. Like they pick guys up that they were drafting. Where's my Tampa Bay list here? They no, and their back end is experienced. Their front end, they still got Kucherov, Braden Point, Hedman, name it. These guys.
Edmonds starting to slow down a bit.
Yeah, he's still solid.
Oh, come on.
McDonough, though.
They
overpaid for McDonough after underselling him.
Okay, I agree with that. But they've also
They replaced Stamkos with Gensel, which,
Oh,
really?
we'll see. We'll see what's going to
I
happen
don't know. Their
there.
second line, Anthony Cirelli on the second line, I think this team has proven that does not work.
Okay, do you think Brandon Hagel can score 35 goals? He'll get more ice time. He'll get more power play time. Is he a guy who can score 30, 35 goals? He's got the skills. Why not?
But he still has the same role on the team. That hasn't changed. He was on the top power play last year, too.
Oh, I think that, but was he come out? Was he on the first power play every time?
Yeah.
Wow. What did he score last year? He scored what, 25? 20-something?
I'm going to pull that up. Yeah.
But I think that he should score more.
I think he's a very good player.
Oh, I do too. I think he's excellent. They got a couple kids lower down the lineup, 22, 23.
He scored 26 last year, and he scored 30 the year before.
Yeah, so I think he can get up over 30 again. And I think that people don't talk enough about this Radish guy in defense.
Oh, yeah.
For Tampa Bay. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. He looks really good.
I don't know. You lost Sergachev, though.
Yeah, but they had to get rid of him because sometimes you get addition by subtraction.
I think this team's going to have trouble scoring. I think that's
with
going to
those
be the
top
biggest
guys,
issue.
with those guys, I think if the
know.
kids pulled, what are you saying?
They have one
I think
power
they'll be
play.
fine.
I think they will too.
Yeah, I think they're just playing like.
I think they're going to be
Edmonton,
number
play
9
them a
in the
minute
East.
and a half.
I think think they're making the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
I think they're
Yeah,
going to
I got them in.
I do too, and I think that a little rest from last year is going to come back. Their top end is good.
I mean, as long as you have Vasilevsky.
I was
the
just
back
gonna.
end, too, like,
I
you are
was just gonna
competitive.
put the period on the sentence.
Yeah, but
after
he's
all is said and
looked.
done.
How's he looked in the last couple of years? He's looked shaky at times.
He's going to play the full season this year. As long
Yes,
as
and he
doesn't get
maybe
hurt.
was a little
He
beat
came in
up and
late
wore
last
out,
year.
but they said he had a good offseason. He looked good in training camp. He's ready to go. And who they got behind him? They got somebody that's
The same guys last year, Johansson.
Yeah, and he's got potential. I said that on purpose.
I don't think this team has enough up front. I think I think goals is gonna kill them.
We're gonna see. You know what?
And I think they gave up a lot in defense.
Steven.
And they overpaid for McDonough. I think that's gonna bite them.
I like adding JJ Moser. I think.
I thought that. Yes,
He's gonna
me
be an
too.
underrated
Yeah, there's
addition to
another
that team.
guy. Yeah, and who else did they have? And they got some kid that came up as a first-round draft choice, one of the wingers.
I can't think.
I can't think of his name, but he's like 22, 20.
Chafe?
No, there's another-
Chaffee, something like that.
Forget
Mitchell Chaffee.
Where did he come from? Quebec.
Let me search it up.
Anyways, but they got a couple young guys, and I think the experience factor always plays into it, especially when you're coming down the stretch. If you're the team with experience, you know what you're doing. If you're not the team with experience, you usually end up outside looking in.
Exactly.
So actually, this Chaffee guy's undrafted, but he's been in he was a wild prospect before. Interesting.
They got a couple guys that was reaching down. I should have.
Was a decent scorer in the minors, but I still think that they're missing a lot.
I think they got enough to get in.
I don't think so.
Okay. So let's move on to the next team then.
Steven, you still have a playoff team to pick in the East.
Nope.
Who are your wild cards?
Tampa and Philly.
Oh, you did have Tampa as a wild card. Okay.
Yeah. Fourth in the Atlantic as a wild card.
Okay. Top wild card, I'm assuming.
So I've got Carolina, Jersey, Rangers, and Islanders making the playoffs, and I've got Leafs, Panthers, and Lightning. So I've only got one more team to say is getting in, right?
No, I think you're done.
No, I had Bruins in. That's right.
Yeah.
I had Bruins up.
So
there.
my next team in the Atlantic, I have Ottawa.
I think that they're going to they might sneak in.
I think the Chikrin, losing him is going to hurt them more than they think it will. And I don't think Allmark's going to be good enough to get them in.
Well, I think of all the kids, like one of these days, something's got to be, they got to mix the bowl together. Something's going to be good. Travis Green could be the difference. New coach, new goalie. They got good young guys. They still got Brady up front. Stutzel, the kid's going to play the whole season. They got caught gambling. Pinto or whatever his name is. They got some decent young guys on defense. Coach better. Allmark could make the difference. Could he win 5 games for him? Difference last year? That 10 points puts them awfully close to a playoff spot.
I don't know.
I almost had them going in the playoffs. Almost had them going into the playoffs. I really thought about it.
I think they're like an 11th place team in the East.
You know what scared me is because something always bad happens to Ottawa. Like, something always seems to go left to center.
Yeah.
But what's that? Well, I don't feel sorry for him at all.
Yeah, Leafs and Habs fans.
Yeah, I couldn't
I
give
would
a
hate the
shit.
Sens. I just have no love for them.
Me either, but I mean, when you look up their lineup and the age group and the experience. What?
They're gonna have a tougher team too this year.
Who, Ottawa? Yeah, they got tougher and everything. I'm just saying, what is the ingredient that they don't have to take them to the next level? Is it coaching? Was it goaltending? They got both?
An arena in a good location.
Whoa, touche, bro. Touche on that.
Yes,
They did.
yes.
They did, yeah.
And they're
To be
moving
fair.
it downtown.
No, they got now. You know the differences with Ottawa.
The owner.
The owner,
Exactly, yeah.
he learned through the Habs system. And
I-
everything, his company's down here.
Yeah, and Lowry. Yeah.
Yeah.
We passed by the building. There's one in.
Oh, that's right,
Woodbridge,
yeah. He owns the Bulldogs as well.
Yep.
Yep.
I just think the Allmark thing was a huge overpay for them.
I thought they overpaid, but
regret that.
sometimes. Yeah, but what's he getting, 8?
Well, in terms of like what they traded for him.
Oh, you gave up too much.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that-
they
I-
definitely did.
And I don't think he's that strong of a goalie. I've said this on the show multiple
I
times.
know, I'm
said
not his biggest fan.
I banged on this table saying he did not deserve that Vezina.
I know you did. I remember that very much. Ruthless again. And I'm supposed to be the ruthless one on this show. What's happened?
Maybe I've picked up a thing or
Maybe
two. from
do
you.
it, which isn't a bad thing. Which isn't a bad thing. No, I think Allmark can make a difference with that defense. I'm not sure they're going to make the playoffs. I almost put him in, but
He's gonna be the difference.
what? Maybe for 5 wins. But like I agree with Andrew. I don't think that he's all he's pumped up to be. Like he's not the greatest goalie. Like I think the better one to keep was Swayman.
I think they made the right decision.
Oh, I think they did too. But I mean, Allmark's still a number 1. He's played 40, 50 games the last 4 years. You know what I mean? So
But now he's playing behind a much worse defense. How's he going to look?
That's the whole game. How many games is he going to steal? So I'm saying if you give him the 5 games, that puts him close to the playoffs. I think they're going to be playing down the stretch meaningful games, but that doesn't mean they get in the door.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
That's fair.
You know?
Next up, Cruz, you're going to hate me. I have Buffalo.
Stop it. Stop it. You're supposed to be my accomplice because I know you know where we're going with this, right?
The only thing that
you
has
do
me
know where we're going
the
with
only
this.
thing
This
that-
is not going to be good.
The only thing that
I'm
has
just
me,
letting you know now. Go ahead.
the only thing that has me unsure about Buffalo is the coaching. I've said this before. They should have just gone and hired Ted Nolan, just sucked it up.
Okay. Oh, I agree. We're all. What do you think, Ted Nolan?
Yeah.
You think he'll ever get a job again?
Probably not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think.
But if I was an owner, let me tell you.
Okay, I would have it too. Like whatever. There, I was telling your brother off camera on production last week or whatever. I was saying that all Lindy Ruff is a guy to instill old school discipline.
Exactly. Yeah.
No other reason to have him there because the team.
How'd that work for New Jersey?
What's that?
How'd that work for New Jersey?
I think they made a switch, didn't they? Because I'm thinking that.
You don't say.
I'm thinking that Lindy Ruff, like he's feathering his nest now. Come on, this is his last coaching job. We all know that. Like at his age, his experience, what he's done.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Okay, there you go. But so what's the main reason to bring him back for Buffalo? PR, discipline, and
familiarity,
and you know, try to get like a little bit of culture, the most overused word in sports.
Yep.
In the dressing room again. You know what I mean? Put your suit on, tie your shoes. You know what I mean? Pick up your check, finish your man, stay in your zone. All those basic hockey things that I didn't see going on in those first 2 games against Jersey this year.
Yeah,
That's
but
for damn sure.
like we said, though, you got to take, whenever there's like overseas games to start the season, take that with a grain of salt because Pittsburgh looked horrible 08-09, the first couple games they played against Tampa Bay in the Czech Republic. Guess what? They went on to win the Cup that year.
Oh, I agree, but
They
you know,
have to fire their coach mid-season to do that.
And
Buffalo could do the same thing.
No, I think Buffalo's already
I know.
eliminated from the
I'm
playoffs.
joking, but
they won't fire him, will he?
the underrated thing about Buffalo though is I think their goaltending. I think Pekka Luukkonen is.
Oh, I think he's great.
He's one of the fastest rising young talents.
no,
in the league. Devin Levi is going to be a very serviceable backup as well.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think their defense got really beefed up at the deadline last year, adding Bo and Byram. So Dahlin, Byram, Owen Power, 2 number 1 picks in there, and then Byram was what, like a number 4 pick, I think,
4th
for
overall.
Colorado.
He was one of the players that looked good on Buffalo.
Byram?
Yeah, no, Power.
Power, yeah.
He
Power,
looked in the games, in the 2 Jersey games, he stood out. Like he's going to be something. I just found that Buffalo, their attack was weird, and they looked slow. Like the puck got out of their zone, but once they got to the other guy's zone, shit happened.
Too much fun in what's that city in Czech Republic?
Prague
the night before.
Yeah, but then again, what's his name? Markstrom made that save of the season already.
Oh my gosh,
and that just took a little freaking save. You see
juice.
the one? You seen it, didn't you, Andrew?
Yeah, I did.
The Markstrom save that took a little freaking punched a little hole in the balloon because Buffalo was looking like they were getting some momentum there, and the game was tied then, right?
It was, yeah.
It was tied then. It was 1-1, and then if they scored that goal, made a difference. I just think that their front end, but like you
it's
said,
a little
0-2
weak.
game.
But I mean, Tage Thompson. I mean, I don't think he's going to score like 50 goals or whatever
he's
again.
not doing that.
He's got to score 40, and that Tuck guy's got to score some too.
I like Dylan Cousins a lot.
I
too.
like Dylan Cousins. He's a good skater. He's another guy that can shoot the puck. Like he was out there, I noticed him, but it just seemed like their structure, like it seemed like the defense knew where to pick up the puck. They'd get up to center ice, and then, whoops, what's going on here? It was a turnover. The puck bouncing on bad ice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to erase that from the because they both had to play with it, but it just seemed that Jersey had a little bit more structure. Maybe they controlled the puck better.
Yeah.
But there was times in Buffalo's attack, the puck bounced away from guys, but they weren't moving in speed. They weren't moving in. Their timing was a little off. But like you say, 2 games in Czechoslovakia. Come on.
Yeah. And then last, but certainly not least, here at the house that happens, I have Montreal. I don't think they did enough to convince me. Big questions in net Cruz for this team. I think Montembeau's a good goalie in the league. Caden Primo has not convinced me at all that he can stick around in this league.
But our other guy is better. Our third guy is better. What's his name?
But he's not on the team.
No, because it's the contract situation. If Primo gets in trouble, we're bringing the guy up from Laval. No problem. He's going to be fine. I'm going to say this right now because we're going to get into awards soon. Montreal Canadiens will be playing meaningful games in March. They're going to be there. They're going to be close to the playoffs. I'm going to tell you why. The back end is better. St. Louis got the structure in place, and we're going to get improved scoring on the front end. Regardless if we lost the lead.
Back end's better. All you do is complain about 2 of their top 4 guys, though. The amount of times the last month I've heard you curse the names Matheson. No, you've cursed him too. Don't lie.
Okay,
you've complained about Savard a lot the past month, Cruz.
Okay, I'll try not to. I reassessed my Savard.
Complains about him because he's worried about contract. Don't worry about that. Live in the now.
I am now. And Matheson at minus 1,000.
30 minutes a game.
I don't know. At minus 20, I want the kids to come up and knock somebody around and stay plus.
Thank you for proving my point, Cruz.
I'm not saying Savard. I'm just saying that Matheson is the guy I bagged on
I
more.
agree. He's the one you worry about more.
I'm way more worried about him. Too many minutes and too much. Nah, Serge, you can't be a number one defenseman, a number one pair, and be minus 31. You just can't be. That doesn't work. Last time I checked, he got a year older, a year slower. I like the guy. I'm not trying to drag his dick in the dirt, but in my opinion, I'd have Logan Mayu up. I'd have a couple of these other kids
Mayu's
up.
another guy that would be a big minus, so his defensive game needs work, doesn't it?
No, he's gotten much better, and he's good in front of the net.
You're
Okay, we're gonna. That's why he's down in Laval.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why he's down in Laval.
exactly.
But I say it takes him no time to get up. I like your call on Struble. Struble gonna be there, but
That's why Harris got traded.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay. And you know, look good though when we gave Kochevic to Jersey. I remember we let him go. I went, and he's looking good on there. But Kovacevic. Yeah. When we let him go, I went, and now he's looking. Well, it's only 2 games, but he doesn't look out of place.
He's got a goal and assist.
He looked like one of their best defensemen out there.
Yeah.
Easily the first 2 games.
But let's spin this as a possibility. You guys got Caden Gould. You guys got Lane Hudson. Hudson is looking like one of the early favorites for the Calder.
Okay, but you know what? He's scaring me already. I'm going to give you 2 reasons. Number one, Serge, I thought he was a bit bigger. My problem is he's
5'10", right?
Yeah, and he's a college defenseman. You know what I mean?
But like, why does the college thing scare you?
Because sometimes they don't learn to like clear the guy out in front of the net. It's always a head moving. Look at the American system.
There's obviously going to be a learning curve there, right? Like
He's got the skills.
College, I guess it's true though, because I brought this up with Logan Cooley. It took him 30, 40 games to kind of get his feet under him.
That's what I'm talking about. They play different in college. They get more.
Logan Cooley on
Utah in college, they get more practice time.
Sorry?
They get more practice time in college. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they're working on their skill level up and the fundamentals. A lot of college guys have better fundamentals than some of the old guys. That's been proven.
This guy can skate and move on the
This is his size, and he can shoot.
You know, on the power.
Who's he going to be playing with? He's playing with Matheson
David
or
Savard.
He's playing with Savard, which I like better.
Yeah, Matheson and Cooley's your top pair.
I know. Well, that's because Cooley's going to be covering up for Matheson all season. Take the puck away from him and get out of the zone. So it's going to happen there. And Aberjacky's going to keep everybody honest. No, we're going to play games there because, first of all, I think Montalban's going to be okay. It's their second goalie I'm worried about.
I agree.
I agree with, but I think that, you know what my prediction is about Montreal? Yeah, Barron's on playing too. Yeah. He's playing too. He's solid.
Yeah, third pair with Xhekaj.
Yeah, so that's a solid pairing.
He's going to be in and out with Struble.
The thing is, you know what I like though about our third pair is both those guys can headman the puck. They can skate the puck out of the zone for third line guys. You got to admit that, Andrew. You seen him play. Aberjacky, for all of his insanity, he can pass the puck.
He's a good third pair guy. I don't know if he's got top 4 upside, but
he might. But I'm
maybe.
saying, yeah. Oh, I know. You know what I mean? He got lost in the shuffle there, and now he's going to come around, and he's only 24.
Yeah.
So we're good on there. I'm just saying.
I think your top 6 is lacking. Even like before you guys lost Laine, I didn't think you guys had enough up there.
That's the biggest problem with our team is scoring. Again, not the size anymore, because we were too small. What? I'm saying, I've already said to Andrew on the other show, I think Montreal, they're going to get out of the blocks well. St. Louis is a good coach. I think what they're going to do is they're going to be like the Red Wings last year. We're going to get to Thanksgiving Day, Christmas, and Montreal is going to be a surprise team. Are they going to be able to sustain it for the whole season? That's the part that gets me.
Detroit has a lot more scoring, though.
Detroit? Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what scares me. But our back end might be better than theirs. That's what I'm saying. So if we can score, but then again,
but scoring's the one that propels you in the regular season, though, right?
And you got to have your plus differential.
Yeah.
If you don't have a plus differential, you're not going nowhere. If you're not a top 10 goals against average team, you're probably not making the playoffs.
That's not true.
Leafs got away with it because they score so much
away with it.
Yeah, but they're usually top 10 to 15. If you're out of that range, you don't usually do it because it's usually if you're top 5, and all those teams are usually top 5 or 6 scoring teams. That's how they make up for it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So obviously we're a little bit divided. Where do you have Montreal exactly finishing in the division?
I don't think they'll be last, but I think they'll be like 5th or 6th. I mean, 7th or 8th, 6th or 7th.
Well, 8th is last.
Okay, no, I think that, you know what? It's going to be such a log jam there. It's going to be like last year. You know what I mean? And the point difference in the division is going to be much tighter when you get down to the bottom. It's just going to be much tighter. So they could go from being the 5th in the division to 7th. I don't think they're going to be the last, though. I do not think so. Buffalo will take that over for us very comfortably.
I think that Buffalo's goaltending, though,
I love that kid.
Over him.
I love that kid, though. We're going to wait and see. Like I said, everything that we said today, I'm going to wait for 10 games, and then we'll start making an assessment then.
Sure.
Would you agree, Steven?
Yeah.
About 10 game, well, it'll be more definitive when we get closer to American Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. 10 those good, starters.
A good sample size.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, to see what you're doing.
Point.
You know what I mean? Like who's doing what, who's positioned on your team, who's sitting in the press box more, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to wait and see. But it's going to be a good season. Yeah, that's for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about the Four Nations face-off before we get to over-unders and award winners.
Okay.
So we're just going to talk Team Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to name guys, and then yes or no are at the end. McDavid.
Yep.
Obviously. Hyman.
Yep.
Obviously. McKinnon.
Yep. Oh, yep.
Crosby.
Yep.
Marner.
Yes.
Barzal.
Borderline. Borderline.
I think he gets on.
Third line?
Second or third line?
Third line, a possibility. I think that, what's going to get him on there? He plays both ends of the ice.
It does.
Exactly.
I think he's another Selke Trophy guy.
It may be the best hands in the league, too.
Oh. Yeah, that'll put him on the team.
Yeah.
That'll put him on the team.
Braden Point.
100%.
Yes. Sam Reinhart.
I don't know. You're still going to start piling up all these wingers. Can they all make it? That's what I'm saying. Someone's going to get out there. Like, is Hyman going to? I think Hyman's had the highest point in his career.
Yeah, but they're going to staple them to McDavid, so I think that's pretty safe.
That's why he makes it. Yeah, but I just feel like for the wings on Team Canada, there's going to be a lot of centers playing the wing.
Yeah, that's what I feel too.
Like Reinhardt, he could make it.
He could.
I think he's one of the more safer bets.
Yeah, he'll be one.
That's why, like Barzal, I pushed him to the wing and Point on this. To be fair,
exactly.
Oh yeah, Barzal. I've heard a million pundits say if he's playing, he's going to be playing on the wing.
Yeah,
he won't get a chance at center.
So for the record, all the guys I've named so far, I have on the team. Marchand.
No.
I think he's got a.
Depends on his performance, and I don't see it at 36 years. You think he's going to make it?
I think he makes
just because
it,
of his name. What about his production?
I think he's going to perform this year.
Okay, I say he's not.
I think he's good for at least 60 points. Good defensively. Can play penalty kill.
We'll see the first. We'll know. We'll know by Christmas. I'm saying he's going to be the fall off. Too many injuries. Keep playing the way he's playing. Time. What is it? Father Time is undefeated. Yep.
Connor Bedard. I'm going to say yes.
I would like to see him on the team.
I have him for 100 points, so.
Yeah, then he'll be making the team.
Mark Stone.
No.
I think he's going to be a perfect fourth-line guy for this team.
Yeah.
Another winger.
You need wingers.
He's gritty. He's defensive.
Fourth-line winger.
He's what you
put him
want
in there.
How old is he?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm going to say he's another guy. He's another father time factor.
That's fair.
Wear and tear. Blah, blah, blah. We'll see.
Quentin Byfield.
I don't want to sit in the fence on this one, but
I'm taking him.
I hope so.
I hope he makes it too.
If
he has a breakout, no, by Christmas. Right now, I'm saying no.
Okay.
I want him on the team, but no.
I say no too.
I don't think so.
Sean Couturier.
Yes.
I think he makes it on as the 13th forward.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so too, because he's got that two-way game. Kills penalties, does all that shit. Mm-hmm. Like he's, you got role players.
You've said yes to everyone basically so far.
Except for the guy before Couturier.
Stamkos.
Yeah, I said no to Stamkos.
Okay, yeah. So, Cruz, you still have a couple slots open, so I'm going to name some guys. Just give me a quick yes, no.
Okay.
Robert Thomas.
Nope.
Marcia Show.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Nugent Hopkins.
Should have said yes to Robert Thomas.
Yes, I should have. Yes. No.
Scheifele.
No.
Horvat.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's your team.
Yeah.
Yes.
D is where it gets a little bit interesting, especially with Doughty out long term.
How come you never brought up Suzuki? He can't make the team?
You talk shit about your own guy.
I didn't talk shit about him. He might be getting better. He'd be like one of those two-way guys.
You call him a number 2 center.
He is, but he'd be a great fourth line on Team Canada center.
Better than Couturier or Bedard?
No.
Okay, there we go.
Because he learned to play on the wing. One of those guys could play on the wing.
Who are you moving?
I haven't decided.
Look, we'll come back to that next week.
Yes. Okay.
On defense, Devin Taves.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Makar, who I learned can actually play for this team.
Makar?
then good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makar is
Yeah.
on the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can play on the team.
Yeah.
That's the top. That's the top pair.
Yeah,
Easy.
easily.
Yeah.
Shea Theodore,
Yes.
Yes.
Alex Pietrangelo.
No.
Ooh.
No. No.
Depends on the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he's a little long in the tooth.
Noah Dobson.
Yes. Definitive.
Morgan Riley.
Yes.
Probably. The Leafs will carry him there.
Owen Power.
No.
No.
Too young.
Okay. Aaron Ekblad.
If he's healthy.
Fair enough.
I'll stick with that. He'll be a borderline guy, but if his production's showing, you know what I mean? He's a good player. Come on, he's a good hockey player. I'd have him on my team, no problem. Stanley Cup winner.
Yep.
So you have 6 guys, Cruz. So you have one more to name. So I have either Bouchard, Morrissey, or Dunn. Or if you have another guy.
Suzuki.
We'll go with that.
I like it.
Okay.
And then goaltending.
Oh, gee.
Aiden Hill.
He has to be.
Yeah.
Binnington.
Yes.
Somebody else could rise up.
Fair enough.
I'm going to say the goaltending thing is not going to be decided until
My top 3 are Hill, Binnington, and Ingram. I'm sticking with them.
Ingram.
I like that, yeah.
I told you about Utah. I'm very high on them.
No, obviously you are. Well, we're going to have to see how it
And then
plays
I have
out.
Montembeau and I have Jeff Skinner here. I don't know why, but
Well, who else do we
Jeff
got? You know what? This is the worst goaltender.
Jeff Skinner. Yeah, if he plays goalie, then there's something definitely up.
Okay.
Stuart Skinner.
Okay, look at it this way. Stewart could play amazing, and they'd have to take a look at him. He could make that improvement, but I'm not betting on it. But I'm going to look at this.
I would bet the opposite.
Okay, I'm not. I'll definitely fence it there. But this is the worst goaltending that we've had to pick
Ever.
Mo, we had Mike Liut. He was an all-star, and he come in and got shelled. I could never believe, because I think the guys on the bench that were younger ended up being better goaltenders if you go back and look at that team at the time.
Yeah.
But we went with Mike Liut because he was supposed to be the guy, and he was just 7-2 in the final. Come on. But it's our worst position right now. You ever think that it's Team Canada, we got to worry about our goaltending?
I wouldn't think we'd ever have to worry about anything.
Really?
I thought we just always have a strong team.
Yeah, but now
10
look.
years ago, I would have laughed.
No
if someone
kidding.
said we had to worry about
Yeah,
goaltending.
exactly.
No kidding. But look at now. Don't you think our goaltending is our weakest?
By
It's
far.
not even a conversation.
Oh, it's by
Because
far.
forward defense, we can compete with anybody.
Oh, yeah.
arguably
No.
better than anybody.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not 100%. But it's just that it's got weird at this point in time that we can't say we got that guy.
That's the big difference between Canada and the States. I think both the teams are pretty equal up front. We definitely have the edge on defense, but they definitely have the edge on goaltending.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a mitigating factor, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now a little time for some over-unders.
All right.
Great.
Okay, so I have about 15 here.
Good.
So we'll just rapid fire.
Sure.
Matthews goals, 55, over-under.
Under.
Under 2.
Under.
That's literally what I thought he's gonna finish
Well,
with. So
yeah,
that's
but
like
you
You
can
can
the
pick
worst
even.
number.
You can pick even.
Yeah, I'll go even. Why not?
Okay.
Or even I'll go over. Screw it. I'll
Okay.
go over.
Good.
Marner points, 98.5.
Over. He's getting
Over.
120.
Whoa!
No.
He's getting.
And I'm
I
a
think
Marner
he's going to
guy.
hit like 105. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah. He'll go over 100.
Nylander goals, 40.
Yep.
Over?
Over.
I think over 2.
Yeah, I'll go over.
Tavares points, 60. Under.
Over.
Over.
Nye points, 45. I'm going to take the over.
Over.
Oh, 100% over.
Nick Robertson games played, 55.
Over.
Over.
I'm going to take the over too.
Yeah.
His brother, Jason Robertson, goals, 40.
More. Plus.
I'll say under.
I'll say over.
I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, because he's going to be playing a lot with Buddy. I never say his name
Ruby
right.
Hintz?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good line there.
Buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Your boy, Yuri Slavkovsky, goals, 30.
Over.
Even.
I'm going over.
I was going to take the over too.
Yeah.
Suzuki points, 85. I'm going to
E-
take the over.
I'm taking even.
I'll go under.
I think it's
Yeah.
high 80s. I don't think he cracks 90.
I don't think it, but he'll get over it. He's somewhere between 80 85.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Caulfield goals, 30.
He
Under.
better.
Over.
I'm taking the under.
I'm taking even. I'm a coward.
Because there's
He
only
better
gonna be,
score. He better score 30 goals. So we're doing
the
nothing.
problem is though he's going to be playing on a line with Slavkovsky. There's only one puck.
Yeah, but they'll get each other's rebounds.
I
There's
think
room in that-
Slavkovsky's going to get more of his rebounds.
well, that's even better. So I say they both will score 30.
Okay.
Well, first time we'll have 2 30-goal scorers on the team since Jesus was a baby. We don't score, buddy.
Oh, I
Trust
know.
me, we don't score.
Quinn Hughes assists 70.
Less. Vancouver's going to have a fallback.
I'm going to take more.
I'll say he's in his
over.
60s. He'll be in his 60s.
I'll go even for that one. Why not?
I think he's going to be a fallback only because of the team. Like the rest of the team
Yeah.
won't be scoring enough. That's how I look at it. But he'll still end up with around 80 points because he'll probably have a couple more goals than usual. Because he scored, 17 last year?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
He might score 20. You know what I mean? So he'll get the 20 and 60 assists, and he got his 80 points. And
I think his goals numbers are actually going to fall off a little bit this year.
really?
Yeah, that'd be my bet.
Oh, okay. He's a great player. Just put it that.
Let's look at his brother, Jack Hughes, points, 95.
Over.
I think he hits 100.
Yeah.
I'm going to say because he won't play enough games that he'll stay in the 90s. You want?
Okay.
Okay.
McDavid points, 150.
No.
Under.
No. he'll never-
Over.
What? What?
Edmonton's going to outscore their problems.
No.
They have Jeff Skinner.
How
They're
old
gonna
is
have a lot of
how old is McDavid?
How old are you?
27.
There you go.
Okay. Then he's got a shot at it, but I'm saying no because usually guys by the time they're 30 have their maximum. Now he's get over 30 and he has a 5
This is
year.
McJesus we're talking about.
Okay, so I'm saying over 30 he gets over 100 points for 6 years in a row. But that means he'll get like 110, 108, 115. But to get the number that you get at your peak. He may never. I think he's got one more peak here. This could be it,
this
but
is
not
it.
150.
I think he's still good for like another 100.
He's winning Art Ross. He's winning
Save that
Art
for
Ross.
the award. Save it for the awards. Pasternak goals, 50. Over.
Under. I've already said Boston's going to fall down.
Stamkos
say
goals,
under?
35. Under.
I think I actually want to say this before with Nashville. I think there's just so much new talent there. Like they're all going to take goals from each other. So like they're all going to just be like at the same numbers, like,
Which is great.
Yeah, it's what you want. But yeah, no one's going to have like a ridiculous season.
Sure.
because of it.
I like your thinking.
Spread the love.
Yeah, and they're all going to have maybe 3 or 4 30-plus goal scorers or
Exactly,
35 goal scorers. I think they're capable of that. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Ovechkin goals, 30.
No, under.
I've got to go over for that one.
I'm going to be
He hits
optimistic. I'm going to
30.
say over.
Yeah, he hits.
You guys are just saying because you like
32.
Ovechkin.
He's going to get 32.
He's going to get 21.
I said last year.
He's going to get 21.
And then if he gets
He's
21
slowing
again,
down.
he gets the record. There you go.
He's got to get 21.
I did say last year on this show during the Christmas episode that we did at home that like when he was still struggling first half of the season, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he still finishes with 30 this season.
And he ended up with
He
30.
did. So
30.
I gotta
But
believe in
I
him.
think it's the crew around him.
It is. Oh, 100%.
And they got better.
We'll see. I say no.
Playoffs this year for Washington. You'll see. Crosby points, 90.
Yep.
Under.
No, he'll get his 90.
I don't think so.
He'll find a way.
You'll get 87 just because.
Okay, he'll get 90 unless there's an injury bug.
Okay.
But he'll get his 90. He'll be well over a point per game. Let's
Okay.
put it that way.
Yeah.
So that will take us to our award segment.
Here we go.
Yeah,
this is going to be fun.
You think so?
Yep.
I thought we were here
I'm
for a
excited
bad
for
time.
this.
Okay.
All right. Where is my spreadsheet?
Okay. You start from the
Okay.
top and away we go.
So, let's go with the President's Trophy first. I got Dallas.
Same.
Okay, so that means you're saying the most points in the league, right?
Yep.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
So we're not winning the cup then.
No.
Thanks for jinxing us, Cruz.
That's why.
The President's Trophy curse.
That's right. So you're going to get the President's Trophy.
Oh, that's what I always wanted.
There you go.
the
You're going to get the President's Trophy.
The Jennings Trophy. So this is for the goalie on the team that allowed the least amount of goals. I'm going to say Sergei Bobrovsky.
No, I'm going to say it's going to be the Jennings.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's going to be Ottinger.
Okay.
Let's say Markstrom.
Interesting. That's
On
on the defense.
On New Jersey, yeah.
Do you think that Allen's going to share the award with him, or
It could be, yeah. I was going to say it could be him and Allen together.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm kind of thinking of the Dallas situation too, because that's the goals against average, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Dallas will sneak in on that.
Jack Adams for Coach of the Year. I'm going to take Andre Tourigny from Utah.
I like that one, actually. But
What? Coach of the Year? I'm taking Martin St. Louis of the Montreal Canadiens.
Even though they're not going to make the playoffs?
They're going to be the surprise team of the league.
Teams that make the playoffs don't
usually get it. You know what I had? I got them both down here. My honest belief, and you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but you may like this. I think it's going to be Sheldon Keefe or Berube.
I got both those guys in my top three.
That's who I think it's going to be.
Keefe
No, well, Sheldon Keefe makes a lot more sense because this team's going to be good.
Exactly.
So who's your pick? Is it actually St. Louis?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm going with Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah, I got Sheldon as well.
Both you guys got Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew Burnett could be up there too.
Oh, yeah. Good pick. Good pick. Good. I like where they're going.
Calder, Rookie of the Year. I got Michkov.
Same.
Well, I looked around and I really couldn't come up with a guy because I'm going, Michkov does sound like a good choice. I like Serge is talking about Lane Houston, but I think he's way too small. Hudson's too small. But I think I like the kid in
San Jose?
Yeah.
Celebrini? He's my number 2.
I'm going to take Celebrini.
I like to put for that one too, Stankoven. He could be in the
He could be in the talk.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll be in there. Definitely.
Well, there's no points for honorable mentions here, so.
Okay.
I just have my top 3 listed for each as if it's like the nominees.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
That's a good pick, though.
Yeah.
The Selke, so defensive forward. I got Barkov winning it again.
Me as well.
I got Sebastian Aho winning Carolina.
Okay.
I wanted to say Marner so bad.
They're not going to give it to a winger.
Okay. How come you don't have Lady Bing on this list?
How do you decide that?
It's just who has the best numbers with the lowest penalty minutes, basically.
It's going to be Marner.
Not even that.
Marner.
No. Vezina Trophy. I got Shesterkin.
Shesterkin of the Islanders? No.
Rangers.
I got Sorokin.
I got UC Saros.
So no, actually, I'm telling the truth. I think Jennings is going to win both. I mean, Ottinger's going to win both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
Why are you giving me your wrong answer first? Was this Hollywood Squares?
Sorry.
Give me your joke answer first?
Well, that's only because I like Patrick Roy. But I think Ottinger's going to be the difference.
I picked him last year. That did not work well for me.
No,
so
but he's.
I think me, you, and Zach were all on Ottinger.
We were.
Well, he's going to do it this year. I like him a lot.
Norris Trophy. I got Miro Heiskanen on Dallas.
He was my second choice.
Yeah, he's second as well for me.
He's my second choice. I say McCarr's bringing it back home.
Yep.
McCarr's got with him because I think that Colorado's going to have that season, and he's going to claim it because he's that good. Sometimes they miss a year and they come back, that kind of nonsense.
He's
voters. But I say Hiskinen's great. I had him there, and then I went, no, I can't. But he's right up.
Did you hear me in your ear?
Maybe what it was, but I had him. I got him written down, and I said, I love the guy. Great defenseman though, and he's going to get lots of votes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rocket Richard. I got David Pasternak.
I got Matthews.
I got Matthews again.
I hope you're right.
I don't think no one's going to score 60 goals this year, and I don't think Pasternak's getting 50.
I think Pasternak's going to get 60.
We'll see.
He can definitely do that.
He's got the potential. I'm going to say he's going to be playing him. Okay, we'll see.
Art Ross, I got McDavid.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's a gimme.
Now, I have 2 different winners for the Hart and the Ted Lindsay.
Yep, same here.
So for Ted Lindsay, I have McDavid.
I have McCarr for the Ted Lindsay.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
I think he's going to have a 100-point season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You should put that in your hot takes.
No kidding.
I was kind of saving it for here, I guess.
All right. That's why I say McCarr's winning the Norris. That's why I say he's going to be there. So who did you say now you had?
So for this is Ted Lindsay. So this is the MVP voted by the players. I have McDavid. He has McCarr.
Okay, well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say McDavid's going to get both because he's going to have all those years last year where those guys overperformed. Like so many guys had that could be their peak seasons. Like you said, McJesus isn't done.
So you have McDavid winning both MVPs.
Going to win both, yeah, because what he's going to do, he's going to come back and have a monster year that still puts him above all these guys chasing him.
That's fair.
And players are going to get him, both guys.
Who do you have winning the Hart?
I got McDavid winning the Hart.
Oh, interesting. I have Pasternak winning the Hart.
Wow, he's on the Boston bandwagon. Mrs. Milani, what have you been feeding your oldest son? He's given all this Boston love here in Toronto?
Been on a diet of Samuel Adams and
That's it. Yeah,
and then New England clam chowder.
Yeah.
And then let's do our way too early Stanley Cup winners. So you already said it's Dallas.
Yep.
I got Vancouver.
What? Not a chance.
I think they're going to figure it out once Demko comes back.
I think that if they make it they win around in the playoffs, I think that's going to be their successful season.
No.
So who are they going to play in the finals?
That's not. I don't know.
So
I didn't prepare for that.
I got my full bracket here ready.
Oh my God!
I love that. I love
absurd.
that. So who do you say is going to play in the finals?
I got Dallas, Toronto.
That's who I got. I got Dallas in Toronto.
Taking it, and Miro Heiskanen, Conn Smythe winner.
You must. He's been reading my mind.
If I have to pick an Eastern team, I'll say Florida again.
Nah, 3 times in a row. That's too tough. Tampa did it. Yeah, but that's an anomaly.
They had They had a shortened year in there.
Yeah. So no, I don't see. I think Florida's going to be battling, but they'll probably get knocked out in the conference finals or semifinals.
I actually have both teams, like both Edmonton and Florida, out in round 1 this year.
No, I don't think. I think they're both going to win a round. I think they might both get to the conference finals. I just think they're going to be burnt out.
The problem is, like, I have them both like. Florida, I have them playing Boston round 1, so revenge match for Boston. And then Edmonton, I have them playing Vancouver, so revenge for Vancouver as well.
Vancouver, I don't think, no. So, yeah, go on with your bracket.
You guys are really underrating Vancouver, I think.
I got Vancouver in the West Final.
Yeah, you're just underrating Vancouver. You're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
I think when Demko comes back, they'll be good to go.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. They've had their issues before. I think they take a step back.
So I think that takes us to our closing with trivia. So now, Steven, you could actually read us the trivia.
Oh, this should be good.
Person.
Trivia questions, by the way, have been outstanding. I've been thinking about Rupert Jones ever since I blew that one. I should have thought deeper. Rupert Jones. Thought about that all night.
Fair enough. Well, this one, I will admit, I had to come up with it pretty late. Andrew was on his way home and reminded me I had to make one. So it's not the most effort was put into it, but still, I think it will be a good one.
Good.
So, anyways, as we all know, the NHL season starts in North America today.
What? I'm not ready.
No kidding. What do you mean?
And as usual, it's the Leafs and Habs playing opening night.
What?
How many times have they played on opening night?
10.
Oh, more than that.
No.
What?
Because back in the day, it would be Boston and stuff. I'd say 10, maybe more. Okay, I'll give it a dozen.
Okay, we got 12 for Cruz. Andrew?
Are we talking the history of the team?
Yeah, the history.
Like,
Toronto
holy
Maple Leafs
shit. Holy shit.
How many times
because like the last
first game of the season been Leafs
I'll say
and Habs
24.
for both teams?
I'll say 24.
All right.
I'll say 30.
The answer is 22.
Oh.
So close.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about lately, but when I thought about the history of it all, wait a second here. That's
Original 6,
the
baby.
original 6. I went, whoa, what am I saying? 12. I'll double that.
I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot more than just 20.
No,
whatever.
because a lot of times back in the day when you guys were around younger, they would do is they would start Wednesday, so Montreal would play like Boston,
okay.
and then Detroit would play Toronto, and then when the Saturday night game opened, then
That
Montreal
would be the Leafs Habs,
the first game of the year. That's
Yeah, and even like original 6 game like days. I imagine Toronto would probably start against like Chicago or Detroit more often.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
the number one, I bet you if you go back to the 60s and 70s, the number one Saturday night game on the opening Saturday night game of the year, I bet you that's Toronto and Montreal.
Yeah, agreed.
More, probably
for
more
sure.
than 24 times. You know what I mean?
So I think that's a show.
I think it was a good show.
You don't have a gospel?
No, we're not going to do gospels during this show because I would just be telling you how many more reasons why Vancouver's not going to do good and why I hate Boston. So since you guys already know that, there's no reason
Man,
for
the
me.
2011 finals must have been hell for you.
Killing me, just killing me. I've had bad nightmares, you know what I'm saying? But that's just the way hockey goes. Anyways, guys, the number one thing we should be saying is all the things that we said here today are predicated on everything going according to Hoyle. We know that the NHL doesn't go according to Hoyle. So the one thing I want to say here from the House That Happens, we hope that injuries is not the reason that any team falls out. Is that not a fair assessment of what we wanted the season?
Yep.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
especially my fantasy team.
Oh, yeah, there you go. In any event, Steven, thank you very much for coming out on the show.
As always, thanks for having me back on, guys. Appreciate it.
That's not a problem. You will be back again, so we'll be able to show you all your failures.
Yes, and I can't wait
as we go down. And I can't wait when we come back there and Boston is struggling in a playoff spot.
I'd be happy.
And we can look across the table. Mrs. Milani, you had one son that was absolutely polite and outstanding and just a gentleman. I don't know what you've done with your other son on this day with a Leaf hat on and all that Boston talk. Must be tough feeding him at dinner tonight.
Yeah, this is
It's going to be rough, don't you think?
It's going to be a little quiet tonight at the dinner table.
I would say so. Well, Mom hasn't heard the show yet. When she does, she'll probably have some questions about bad parenting. You know what I mean?
Hey, she's heard me talk about these offseason moves that they've made. So, I mean, this should really come as no surprise.
Okay, we will see. It's just the team. It's just the team that he's put
I put my bias aside, and I took an objective look.
I try to do that
teams.
every day. Every day I get up and say I'm going to be objective. And it's like when Snoopy gets up in the morning and says, no, I'm not. I'm going back to... You know those Snoopy ones? I should have done this. No, I'm just going to be your average beagle. Screw that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything else you want to add to the table?
No, just enjoy the hockey, everybody. We hope your favorite team does as well, unless they're the Boston Bruins.
Oh, threw that in there at the last second. What
himself.
a hook. Save the parachute come out of the sky.
Or the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, well, we know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see what's going to happen. In any
Or I
event,
guess Florida as well. We'll throw them in there.
yeah.
Anyone else while we're here?
Oh, man, the Flyers.
Oh.
Let's throw in the Boston Red Sox, the Celtics.
Yeah, why not? I can
the
Ohio
Yankees,
State Buckeyes.
the Rays.
Yeah.
I can go on for days, Steven. Don't tempt me. The Jets, the
It's
Dolphins.
not Festivus
Yes.
yet. We can't air our grievances now.
No, we're not, because it's strictly a hockey thing. But God bless coaches and how they get fired so quickly. You know what I
Except
mean?
for this, you're only one's getting fired.
Okay, I'll take you up on that. I say at least two. But your call was great. That's one that's painted on the wall. Unless Pittsburgh does something spectacular.
Once Schuey's is renovated, we're gonna have a banner that says that.
There you go. Anything else you want to add, guys?
That's just about it.
Thank you very much. It's been a great show.
My name's Andrew Milani.
My name is Cruz.
What do?
We keep the vibe alive.
You can find The House That Happens on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart Radio, Player FM, Samsung, Podchaser, Boomplay, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at The House That Happens, and follow us on Twitter at House Happens. You can also shoot us an email at thehousethathappens@gmail.com.